Chapter 576. He didn't dare to imagine it. Linley didn't dare to imagine what it would be like when the demonic phoenix was born. When he thought of this, Linley couldn't help but shiver. I know. Don't worry. I will cultivate as hard as I can during this period of time. I will strive to break through to the level where I can suppress Xueqi. I hope so. The system's reaction surprised Linley. He thought that the system would laugh at him, but he didn't expect that it would just let it go so easily. It was hard to imagine why the system's attitude towards him had changed so much. Yes, it's the same for me. When the time comes, I will be able to break through to the level I want to register. However, I will still need your help. Although the Divine Emperor can fight against her, it will still be a little difficult. After all, that is only the strength of the physical body, not the cultivation. Hearing this, the system fell silent and did not say anything. Linley thought that this was impossible. Although there was a hint of disappointment in his eyes, he had already expected this. Okay, I will help you. However, don't be in pain when the time comes. Of course, I will not be merciful to you like the little dragon. My training is very difficult. When the time comes, it will be too late to regret. Really? At this moment, Lin Ray was very surprised to see the old man in the air. His eyes were full of doubts. He had basically given up on the previous question. Who knew that the system would actually agree to his request? Why? Are you not willing? In response to Lin Ray's doubts, the system's cold and synthetic voice asked Lin Ray. No. No. Why would I not agree? I agree. You can train me however you want. As long as it can make me stronger, I will do it. Just like this, the two of them hit it off. Okay, you can go out and prepare. Your life will not be easy in the future. Of course, it is not too late to regret now. It will be too late when it really starts. Regarding this issue, Lin Ray's attitude was very firm. He would not regret this matter. He let himself be strong, not only for Xueqi who was imprisoned by the enchantment underground, but more importantly, for the reincarnation mirror which was detained by the three ghost kings. And all of this effort was because of the dead Jean Ling and Jean En. For them, Lin Ray had to do this. No need. Since this is my decision, I will not change it. Don't worry, I will not back down from this matter. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't give the system a chance to speak. He left the system in a flash and returned to the barrier he had set up in reality. He opened his eyes and stood up with joy on his face. Then, he waved his hand and the formation disappeared. He sensed the ghostly aura outside. As the energy flowed into his body, Lin Ray felt indescribably comfortable. After looking around, Lin Ray walked towards his room. Along the way, he met many people. Everyone had a respectful expression on their faces. In contrast, Lin Ray did not say anything. At this time, Lin Ray came to the door of the room and felt the fluctuation of spiritual aura coming from the room. Lin Ray frowned because this spiritual aura was only at the foundation establishment stage. Feeling this, Lin Ray instantly released his divine sense and rushed into the room. He saw that it was his daughter Lin Mei, who was sitting on the bed and cultivating. Feeling the aura on her body, a smile appeared on Lin Ray's face in an instant. Haha, it seems that it was the right choice to find her a master. With him here, I am really relieved. Speaking of this, Lin Ray transmitted his voice to Blood 15 in the room. 15, I am going to cultivate in seclusion for a while. I will leave the things here to you. Remember, if anyone makes trouble, just ignore them and kill them directly. Yes, I will do as you say. At this moment, 15, who was cultivating with his eyes closed in the room, heard Lin Ray's words and instantly opened his eyes. A bloody light rushed out in an instant. Then, he calmed down and responded to Lin Ray. Since that's the case, I'll leave this place to you. I'll be leaving first. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't say anything more to 15. Then, he left and walked towards the place where he had gone into seclusion. The setting sun was infinitely good, but it was only waiting for dusk to arrive at the secluded cultivation area. He casually used a formation, and in an instant, it enveloped him. At this moment, when he was about to go into seclusion, a period of time when he used to be with Jean Ling, the only memories he left behind instantly appeared in his mind. When he met Jean Ling. Memories. Jia. The door was pushed open. A girl who was not particularly good-looking but could be considered strong and handsome walked in. She was very close in age and looked to be about 17 or 18 years old. The girl leisurely drove to Lin Rei's side. She placed the cup in her hand on a nearby tree stump and sat beside Lin Rei. Looking at the pale Lin Rei, the girl revealed a sorrowful expression and sighed. Sigh. When will you wake up? You've been in a coma for almost 3 months. Ever since you suddenly appeared in our village covered in blood, we thought you were a bad person. Later, no one cared where you lay for several days. Finally, when the village chief finally agreed to save you, he pulled you back. It's been 3 months and you haven't shown any reaction at all. I really don't know if you can still wake up. It turned out that after Lin Rei was hit by the last halo of light emitted by his companions, he lost consciousness and was directly sent to an isolated island in the depths of the Sea of Innocence by the teleportation formation. And on this isolated island, at some unknown point in time, people had been stationed here. Later on, they had formed a village and had lived there ever since. But suddenly one day, a blood-soaked Linley had suddenly descended from the skies. When the villagers saw this, they all thought that he was a bad person, and so they didn't lend a helping hand. But a few days later, the oldest elder of the village finally couldn't help but rescue Linley and bring him back. After carrying Lin Rei to his room, the old man ordered his only granddaughter to help Lin Rei bathe and treat him. She served him for almost 3 months. During these 3 months, the girl came back every day to help Lin Rei wash his body and feed him medicine. As the saying goes, even a dog would develop feelings after 3 months of raising it, let alone a person. During these 3 months, the girl took care of Lin Rei meticulously. In the end, she imperceptibly fell in love with Lin Rei, who she had been taking care of all this time. In the neighboring 17 years of age, it was the time for a girl to choose a partner. Moreover, the girl had to help Lin Rei bathe every day. Tonight, when she was feeding Lin Rei medicine and bathing him again, the girl came to Lin Rei's room as promised. When she saw that Lin Rei was still unconscious, the girl could not help but sigh with emotion. Then, she began to bathe Lin Rei. Sigh. Little brother, do you know? This is the first time I've had a man other than my grandfather. I don't know when, but I started to worry about you. Slowly, I started to care about when you could wake up and talk to me. As the girl spoke, she carried Lin Rei to the bathing area. Then, she began to slowly take off Lin Rei's clothes and put Lin Rei in the bathwater. In these 3 months, the girl had done this countless times, so now the girl had become immune to it. Looking at Lin Rei lying in the bathwater, the girl took a piece of something that looked like a scrubber and rubbed it on Lin Rei's body. Her movements were very gentle, as if she had already used all her strength to hurt Lin Rei. Looking at Lin Rei lying in the water, the girl could not help but be stunned. Little brother, can you wake up? I really want you to talk to me. Who's talking? At this moment, Lin Rei was running around aimlessly in the misty space. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded in his ears. In an instant, Lin Rei was stunned. Gradually, Lin Rei uncontrollably returned to reality. He felt that his body was cold and he also felt a hand groping his body. In an instant, Lin Rei opened his eyes abruptly. Glancing around, Linley saw that in this unfamiliar environment, there was a woman who didn't seem to be in a good mood, but who had a pair of watery eyes. She was carefully wiping his body. Linley was stunned. Little brother, I really want to. Just as the girl was speaking to Linley, she raised her head and saw that the person who had been unconscious for a long time was staring at her with his eyes wide open. Instantly, the girl stood up, her face red with embarrassment, and ran outside, calling out to the people outside. Grandpa! Grandpa, come and take a look. The person you saved is awake. Grandpa! Grandpa, come and take a look. You saved. Looking at the girl who ran out, Lin Rei was stunned. At this moment, Lin Rei's mind was very fuzzy. After waking up, the first question he asked was, "Who am I?" Then, a lot of questions popped up. Who am I? Where am I? What happened to me? Where's my family? A series of questions appeared in the boy's mind, but he couldn't find an answer. In the end, Lin Rei couldn't figure it out, so he gave up. Haha, little friend, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Just as Lin Rei was in a daze, a white-haired old man walked in from the door. When he saw that Lin Rei was really awake, some warm and considerate words blended into Lin Rei's heart. Old Grandpa, I'm fine. It's just a little. Oh, what's wrong? Hearing Lin Rei's words, the old man quickly came forward and began to examine Lin Rei in all aspects. No. Actually, it's nothing. It's just that I don't seem to remember what happened before. Now, in my mind, there's nothing except for the girl beside you. I don't know if Grandpa knows where I'm from. Where is my home? Who is it? This old man doesn't know either. When I saved you back then, you had nothing on you. Other than your body being covered in blood, you were also covered in wounds. However, when you were unconscious, those wounds healed on their own. Now, they are almost healed. It's just that you lost too much blood, so your body is a little weak. Oh, so that's the case. Originally, he thought that the old man who saved him might know his background. But now, it seemed that there was no hope. Thinking of this, Lin Rei's face showed a trace of disappointment. Well, since you don't remember who you are, why don't we just take things as they come? Since you don't have a name now, you don't have to follow mine. Anyway, you don't know who you are now, so I can't keep calling you little doll. Hehe. Hearing the old man's explanation, Lin Rei nodded. After all, the old man was right. Since he didn't remember who he was, then it was better to live a good life here. Okay, then thank you, Grandpa. Hehe, that's right. Since you agreed, then take this old man's surname. This old man's surname is Jean. Why don't you call yourself Jean Rue? Rue as in auspicious, okay? The old man's face was happy. Lin Rei didn't refuse and directly agreed. Okay, Grandpa, I will take your surname from now on. I will be called Jean Rue. Hehe, why are you still calling me Grandpa? Since you already know my surname is Jean, why can't you call me Grandpa? After hearing the old man's words, Lin Rei helplessly shook his head and said with a smile, Hehe, I can afford it, Grandpa. Hey, is that right? Ha ha ha, I also have a grandson. Let's see if this old man will still laugh at me in the future. When the old man finished speaking and saw Lin Rei, Jean Rue, again, he instantly became stupefied. At this time, Jean Rue had already fainted in the water. Ah, Brother Rue. What happened to Brother Rue? At this moment, the girl who was standing at the side hurriedly rushed over and helped Linley up, placing him on the bed. Grandpa. Grandpa, quickly take a look. What happened to Brother Rue? Why did he faint again? After helping Lin Rei to the bed, the girl hurriedly went to the old man's side and asked anxiously, Oh, Linger, look at you. When I was sick, why didn't you care about me like this? How long has this kid been here? Since you took care of him so meticulously, tell me, are you? Grandpa, don't talk nonsense. I was just following your order to take care of him. After saying that, she walked out. When she ran to the door, the girl couldn't help but shout to the old man. Grandpa, remember to take care of Brother Rue. It's late, I'm going to sleep. Her voice gradually disappeared. The old man looked at his granddaughter who ran out with a worried face. He went to Jean Rue's side to check if there was anything wrong with him and left. Sigh, the moment the door closed, Jean Rue, who was originally unconscious, woke up. Sigh. What the hell happened? Why can't I remember who I am? Who am I? At this time, as long as Jean Rue slept, the boy would have these questions lingering in his mind. Sigh. Forget it. Maybe this is God's way of letting me relive it all over again? Maybe the memories from before weren't very good. After that, a feeling of exhaustion crept into his heart. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. This sleep was very sweet. It wasn't until noon the next day that Lin Rei woke up from his sleep. Lin Rei, who was lying on the bed, slowly opened his eyes. The old man was familiar with everything. Lin Rei knew that he was still in the old man's house. Sigh. With a sigh, Lin Rei prepared to get up. However, the girl from yesterday swaggered in, and Lin Rei realized that he wasn't wearing any clothes. You go out first, I'm not wearing any clothes, Jean Rue said to the girl embarrassedly. His face couldn't help but turn red. Thinking of this, Lin Rei was pulled back to reality from his memories. At this moment, Lin Rei's gaze was even more determined. He was even more determined to work hard to cultivate and save his wife and child. Then, he didn't think too much about it. With a thought, he instantly entered the system and began his devil training. Chapter 577. How Tian, just you wait. How many years has it been? I can't even remember. You've trapped me here and let me be baptized by the ghost Qi day and night. You wanted to wipe away my spirit. To think that I would have a descendant. At this moment, 10,000 meters under Hu City, there was a huge space that was filled with flames. In the middle of the flames, a huge phoenix lay in the middle of the flames. Beside the phoenix was a huge egg that was more than 10 meters in size. Looking at the egg before her, the phoenix's face was filled with gentleness. But when she spoke of Hao Tian, she was filled with killing intent, as though she was happy to have him killed by mistake. My dear son, your mother is about to pass away. After being here for so long, you're the one I've been most worried about. If not for you back then, even if Qinglian were here, she wouldn't have been able to take advantage of me. With that, the phoenix's gigantic wings caressed the egg gently. Her movements were gentle, and she couldn't use too much strength. Wang wang. As though it could sense the words of the phoenix, the egg resonated with her. Sensing this, a single drop of blood flowed out of the phoenix's eyes. My dear son, don't worry. Your mother has been here for such a long time. But you're different. You have a bright future waiting for you to squander away. You can't just stay here forever. I can sense that there's someone extremely strong above this place. And your mother can sense that there's a thick amount of chaos chi within his body. With that, the phoenix raised her head and looked up at the ceiling. Her voice was filled with excitement as she spoke to the egg. For someone to be able to absorb chaos chi at this time, he's definitely not someone to be trifled with. Even though your mother doesn't wish for you to be used by others, but someone like this will definitely be someone extraordinary in the future. Therefore, even if I have to risk my life, your mother will send you out. Just you wait. Your mother won't let you stay here forever. With that, the phoenix seemed to have come to life as she stood up. Her gigantic body brought along the flames around her. Instantly, balls of flames formed into a gigantic force that shot towards the surrounding walls. Bam, bam, bam. Suddenly, a series of loud noises rang out. The moment the balls of flames collided with the surrounding walls, they exploded. By the time the flames disappeared, there were no signs of damage on the walls at all. And not even a trace was left behind. If Ruolin was here, he would definitely be very surprised. Just based on the bombardment that was casually created by the phoenix, he would not be able to withstand it. He would even be directly burned to ashes by this bombardment until there was not even a trace of him left. Humph, do you really think that this seal can seal me for long? Ah, Haotian, although you have already reached the saint level, you are still far from it. If it wasn't for that old bastard Hong Jun who helped you back then, do you think you could seal me so easily? After saying that, the evil phoenix's face was filled with murderous intent. Immediately after, a monstrous flame flapped its wings and a crescent-shaped attack shot out. It was as fast as lightning and as fast as thunder. In a flash, it struck the stone wall. With a loud bang, a mysterious rune appeared. The word seal appeared, and a mysterious light flowed on it. It was continuously dispelling the attack that the evil phoenix had just casually waved. Hee, seal? How long can you seal me for? Hong Jun has already given himself over to Tendo. He can't even control himself now. Why would he care about this? Even if I have to sacrifice my entire soul, I will break through this seal of yours. With that, crescent-shaped attacks shot out and landed on the stone wall densely. Rumble. Rumble. At this moment, in Hu City, everyone was living a normal life. However, at this moment, the entire city began to shake violently. Each time it shook, the pattern of the shaking was different. Due to the intensity of the shaking, a few gigantic trenches appeared on the ground. Those who were unfortunate enough to build houses or people on the trenches were all trapped in the trenches at this moment. In contrast, when everyone saw this scene, they couldn't help but feel a wave of fear. Originally, they thought that this kind of shaking would stop after a period of time. But who would have thought that for 5 consecutive days, the shaking continued without stopping, day and night. In comparison, some people had already gone out to seek refuge. Finally, after 5 days, the shaking stopped. Those who had fled to seek refuge were notified that Lake City was fine, so they returned. But who would have thought that less than 3 days after the peaceful atmosphere, the shaking would appear again? Rumble, kacha, kacha. Terrifying sounds rang out, and everyone was terrified. At that moment, in the Hu clan, Hu Bing felt the shaking of Lake City and the chasm that had appeared between it and the ground. Instantly, a look of shock appeared on his face. Instantly, Linley's words to him surfaced in his mind. No. Could it be that something happened to Xiefeng's power? If that's the case, then. Thinking of this, Hu Bing didn't wait. He released his cultivation and instantly rushed to the inn where Lin Rei was. The inn wasn't very far from the Hu family. Soon, he arrived at Yulai Inn. Excuse me, where is the residence of the senior? At this moment when Xiaomi, who was busy, saw that it was Hu Bing, she didn't dare to delay and said, Master Hu, the senior is. Hearing Xiaomi's explanation, Hu Bing smiled at her. Then, he used his cultivation and instantly appeared at Lin Rei's residence. Plop! Hu Bing arrived at Lin Rei's house. He felt that other places were shaking, but his father was completely fine. In comparison, Hu Bing saw hope. He immediately knelt on the ground and begged the room. Senior, please save Hu City. This is the place where we were born and where we were born. This place can't be destroyed. Senior, please save Hu City. At this moment, Blood 15, who was cultivating in the room, frowned when he heard that someone was disturbing his peace. He looked at the door with a murderous look. As for Hu Bing, when he saw that no one in the room responded, he shouted again, Senior, I beg you. Although I usually do a lot of evil, as a member of Hu City, I definitely can't watch Hu City be destroyed like this. I beg you, I beg you. Disturbing someone's cultivation. Do you know that this is a taboo? Aren't you afraid that I'll kill you? At this moment, Blood 15, who was in the room, couldn't stand the person outside anymore. He snorted coldly, stood up, and shouted angrily at the person outside. You are? Hearing the voice, Hu Bing, who felt that something was wrong, looked up. When he saw that the person standing at the door wasn't the senior from before, he was stunned. You don't need to know. You only need to know that you're in trouble again. How dare you disturb me when I'm cultivating? Tell me, how do you want to die? Hearing this, Hu Bing's body trembled. Just a moment ago, he felt the killing intent from the mysterious person in front of him. Hu Bing immediately knew that the person in front of him was no ordinary person. Senior, what happened just now was purely unintentional. The situation was urgent and this junior couldn't wait any longer. Hearing this, Blood 15 looked up and released his divine sense. When he sensed the situation in Hu City, his brows furrowed. How can this be? There's such a large area of destruction, but I can't sense the aura of the person who did it. Why? Although he didn't know why, Blood 15 frowned. It seems that I can help. After all, the young master is still in seclusion. As for where he's in seclusion, I don't know. It wouldn't be good if the shaking in the city disturbed the young master. With that thought, Blood 15 glanced at Hu Bing. With a wave of his hand, he set up a powerful restriction on the room. Although he couldn't be sure that the restriction would last forever, at the very least, it wouldn't break for a while. Hurry up and leave. With that, Blood 15's body disappeared. When he reappeared, he was in the air above the center of Hu City. Blood 15 stood in the air and looked down at the shaking Hu City. At this moment, there were many large cracks in the city and it looked very dilapidated. Sigh. Seeing this, Blood 15 sighed and stretched out his hand. He instantly used his peak late-stage Divine Lord strength, and a large amount of spirit energy enveloped the entire Hu City. He began to use his own spirit energy to maintain the city. Rumble. 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 Inside, Blood 15 found that his spirit energy couldn't withstand the shaking at all. He looked into the distance and saw the restriction he had set up with his spirit energy slowly shatter. His brows furrowed. How can this be? What kind of power is this for it to have such great power? At this moment, when he felt that there was nothing he could do, Blood 15 began to pray that Lin Rei would quickly wake up from his seclusion. Once again, Blood 15 tried to use his spirit energy to stabilize Hu City. Although he could only hold it for a while, at least he wouldn't have to worry about it for a while. What he didn't know was that in the depths of the underground, Xiefeng had gone crazy for her child. Crazy bombardment had become a habit. A puny little Divine Lord realm brat actually wants to protect the city that was established above. That's simply a fool's dream. At this moment, Xuefeng's spirit energy could see what Blood 15 was doing in the air. She immediately felt disdain for his actions. Puffed. At this moment Blood 15, who was in the air, came out of his mouth and his face turned pale. Humph, I'm here. Don't you dare harm this city, at least not now. With that, Blood 15 gave up on using his spirit energy. Then, he put his palms together and mysterious red runes appeared instantly. Slowly, the ghostly aura in the air began to distort. Not only that, the ghostly aura within 1,000 miles began to gather toward Blood 15. Ha! Suddenly 15 yelled, and the seal in his hand suddenly changed. Blood God. The moment he said that, Blood 15 spat out from his mouth. At this moment, a strange scene appeared. The blood that Blood 15 recognized floated in the air. At this moment, the blood floating in the air began to turn into droplets of blood and dispersed instantly. What? How is this possible? At this moment, Xuefeng's spirit energy informed her of the spell that Blood 15 used. Her eyes were filled with disbelief and shock. Blood Styx's spell. This person? Who is this person? Why does he have Blood Styx's spell? Thinking of this, Xuefeng was puzzled. At this moment, Xuefeng's bombardment began to slow down. No, that's not right. Although it's Blood Styx's spell, his cultivation level is far from that bastard's. Speaking of this, Xuefeng used her spirit energy and sent a message to Blood 15's ears. Instantly, Xuefeng's voice exploded. Who are you? Why do you use that bastard spell? Blood God, how do you know how to use it? Hearing this voice, Blood 15's spirit energy instantly tensed up and began to scan the surroundings to find the person who spoke. However, it was a pity that he couldn't find him. Haha, you don't have to look for me. You just have to tell me how you know Blood Styx's spell. If you tell me, I'll let you go today. Otherwise, even if Blood Styx comes, I'll try my best to kill you. Hearing this, Blood 15's face turned serious. Blood Styx is the ancestor and I'm from the Azura clan. Blood God was taught to us by the ancestor. However, because our cultivation was sealed by a mysterious power for some reason, we're only at the monarch god level now. With the return of our power, our memories are also slowly coming back. Xuefeng's expression eased a little when she heard this. However, she was very curious about Blood 15's power being sealed. However, when she saw Blood 15's blank face, she didn't ask anymore. All right, if that's the case, then retreat. We can't keep this city any longer. It will soon turn into a pile of rubble. Moreover, don't you Azura people view human lives as worthless? What's wrong? Have you changed your attitude today? Although Blood 15 didn't know who the person who spoke was, he knew that this person was still from the same era as him. However, Blood 15 still refused her request. After all, his master, Lin Ray, was still cultivating in seclusion here. I'm sorry, Senior. I can't comply with your request. My young master is cultivating in seclusion here and I have to protect his safety. How about this? After my young master comes out, you can destroy this place. At that time, I won't stop you. Oh? Your young master? Hearing this, Xuefeng's interest was piqued. Even so, she didn't attack. Who is your young master? To be able to make the bloodthirsty Azura clan of the Eldritch era recognize him as their master, I really want to meet him. Hearing this, Blood 15's expression didn't change. He said with his usual cold face, since Senior says so, why don't we wait for a day? Chapter 578. Humph. Who do you think you are? Even if that bast asterisk RD Mingi is here, he wouldn't dare to make me wait. Do you think that's possible? After saying that, the evil phoenix in the depths of the ground began to attack the barrier around them again. Rumble. Rumble. Accompanied by a series of earthquakes, the houses in Lake City began to collapse on a large scale. Ah! God, how can you be so cruel? My baby died so tragically. Ah! In an instant, the entire Lake City was filled with wails of agony and resentment. Gazing at the people in the Lake City, 15's eyes were still as cold as ever. However, there was a trace of worry in her eyes. Young master, hurry up and come over. This place is about to collapse. In the western region of the Divine World, in a restaurant named Sky Stir Fry in Lotus Sky City, Lin Ray's clone, Sakura, was seated at a table by the window. At this moment, his face was no longer revealed. Instead, it was a face that was identical to Lin Rei's. He wore a gentle smile and looked completely different from the mask he wore when he was an assassin. Moreover, the current Sakura was dressed in scholarly attire and looked extremely refined. At the 2 tables beside him, 7 people in black clothes were eating and drinking with ice-cold expressions. Of course, it was obvious that they were the 7 Azuras that Lin Rei had sent to protect Sakura. "Sai, where exactly are you? I've been searching for you for so many years and there's no news of you at all. I didn't even hear your name. What exactly are you doing?" Sakura looked at the sky outside the window worriedly. He was worried that Lin Rei's purple blood would be exposed. He was afraid that everything would happen. Similarly, he was worried that the people from Heaven and Earth Sect would come looking for him. He had also learned a lot during this period of time. Heaven and Earth Sect had been passed down from the upper world. It was imaginable how powerful they were. Putting everything else aside, just the God transformation alone was already uncountable. As for the God Emperor transformation, after such a long period of accumulation, there was no need to even think about it. "Sai. Sir, these are the dishes and wine you ordered. I've served everything. Please enjoy. I'll take my leave first." Just as Sakura was worried, the waiter's voice pulled him back to reality. Okay. Go ahead." Sakura looked at the waiter and the table full of dishes and wine in front of him and smiled. Then, he waved his hand and dismissed the waiter. Gulp. Gulp. The moment the waiter left, Sakura grabbed the wine jug and poured the wine into his mouth. Instantly, a spicy feeling. Is asterisk this is asterisk sing asterisk phew. Good wine. Is asterisk asterisk, Sakura asterisk is asterisk, Sakura asterisk asterisk, Sakura asterisk, Sakura asterisk asterisk, Sakura asterisk asterisk, Sakura, Sakura, Sakura asterisk 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 Sakura asterisk asterisk Sakura Sakura, Sakura Sakura Sakura, Sakura Sakura Sakura, Sakura be Sakura, haha, that's really strange. After living in the divine realm for so many years, I've never seen a sect with such a pattern. Not only that, the moment they entered, Sakura Tianchao felt that they were extraordinary. Not only because of their temperament, but also because they were all wearing divine weapons. Of course, 3 of the women were wearing divine weapons. As for the man who followed them, he was like a servant, not daring to make a sound. Since when did the divine sect have so many divine emperors? How strange that we can run into them in such a small city. As a divine lord, he could sense the auras of these 4 people the moment they entered. Of course, that man's cultivation was a bit stronger. He was at the middle stage of the divine lord realm. "Miss, why don't we leave? If we suddenly leave, the continent lord will know. He'll definitely be unhappy." At this moment, seeing that all the places in the restaurant were filled with people, the man standing behind the 3 women pleaded with a troubled expression. "Humph. I'm not going back. So what if he's unhappy? No matter what happens today, I'm not going back. After being born for so long, this is the first time I've been here to play. You have to think about it. You can leave by yourself." As he spoke, the woman who spoke. Similarly, Indra could see that this woman had the best status among them. She looked around and at this moment, she saw Sakura who was sitting by the window and eating alone at a big table. Instantly, the woman's face lit up and without waiting for the waiter to come forward, she went to the front of Sakura on her own. Sensing that someone was coming, Sakura Tianchao raised his head and looked at that person without saying a word. He wanted to see what kind of trick they were playing. "Young master, we are new here. Would it be possible for us to share a table with you?" However, the moment the woman said that, the Shura man who was eating at the side stood up immediately and looked at the 4 people with vigilance. Feeling the powerful energy locking onto him, the man frowned. "How is this possible? These people are not inferior to me at all. Moreover, there are people who are stronger than me. Who is this young man?" Not only the man sensed it, even Sakura Tianchao didn't expect it. Immediately, he told the Shura man to sit down again. After doing all this, Sakura Tianchao raised his head and looked at the woman. Perhaps curiosity won over reason. Sakura Tianchao nodded and said, "You all sit down." Hearing this sentence, the 4 people sat down without saying anything. The woman who had the most right to speak picked up the chopsticks on the table and began to eat. "Wow, this is so delicious." While eating, she couldn't help but praise it again and again. In contrast, the curiosity in Soccer Tianchao's eyes was even stronger. "Nyo, you eat too. This thing is especially delicious. It's much more delicious than the things in our place. If I knew it would be like this, I would have come out 3,000 years ago." 3,000 years. Listening to the woman's words, Soccer Tianchao couldn't help but swallow his saliva and sweat broke out on his forehead. Thinking about himself since he was created by the deity until now, it was at most 400 or 500 years. Got it. The other woman also moved her chopsticks. She picked up a piece of meat and put it in her mouth. After chewing twice, her closed eyes suddenly startled and her eyes sparkled. "Wow! It's really delicious. Tuan, try it. This thing is really like what Mu Ling said. It's so delicious." Looking at their appearance, Soccer Tianchao really began to suspect whether they were barbarians or not. The food on the table in front of him was abundant in every city. Looking at them eating, Soccer Tianchao suddenly felt that the scene was very warm. The feeling of loneliness from before was gone. Then he chuckled and began to eat. Although his ears suffered a bit during the process, his heart began to silently accept such an environment. He accepted the noise of the three women. However, that man was staring at the Shura people on the other two tables. Regarding this, Soccer Tianchao was also very helpless. "Oh, by the way, this lady, the clothes you're wearing are very unique and exquisite. But my eyes are clumsy, I really can't tell which sect you're from." Finally, the curious thing in his heart was spoken out at this moment. Suddenly, his heart felt much better. Hearing Soccer Tianchao's words, the man of the three women stopped eating and then looked at Soccer Tianchao with vigilance. Looking at their appearance, Soccer Tianchao's expression became awkward. He didn't expect such an ending. In order to not let them misunderstand, Soccer Tianchao hurriedly explained, "Don't misunderstand, I'm just very curious. Not to mention that I've seen the clothes of all the major sects in the God realm, but this is the first time I've seen your clothes. Moreover, this kind of clothes doesn't exist in the God realm." Although Soccer Tianchao explained, the four people did not let down their vigilance. Seeing that they didn't intend to answer, Soccer Tianchao hurriedly suppressed the curiosity in his heart. Okay. Since you don't want to say, then forget it. Anyway, I'm just saying it on a whim." With that, Soccer Tianchao stood up and prepared to leave. But at this moment, just as Soccer Tianchao stood up, a piece of news that surprised him came from the other table. "Hey bro, have you heard? I heard that the most mysterious great Zhou of the 9th continent has appeared." "What? The 9th continent has appeared? How is that possible? Hasn't that Dazhou always stayed out of it?" "Sigh, I don't know about that. I only know that not long ago, the most mysterious barrier of the 9th continent suddenly loosened. It was originally a simple accident, but who knew that not long after, the barrier suddenly broke and the 9th continent appeared in front of the public." Hearing this news, Soccer Tianchao, who had stood up, sat down again and focused his attention on what they were saying. "The 9th continent has appeared. With such a big matter, I believe that with the host's personality, he should go back, right?" At this moment, what Soccer Tianchao wanted to say was nothing else. It was not the treasures of the 9th continent, nor was it the mystery of the 9th continent. Instead, it was the appearance of the 9th continent that could attract Lin Rei's attention and allow him to find him. Thinking of this, it was extremely possible. Then, Soccer Tianchao instructed the Azura clan member beside him. Go to the 9th continent and guard it. Find that person. Then, use the talisman to inform me." "Yes, your subordinate will do it now." The Azura clan member who received the order nodded and instantly disappeared from the restaurant. Hiss. Sensing the aura of the Azura clan member, the man who came with the three women suddenly let out a breath of cold air. His eyes were filled with shock. This kind of strength. I'm afraid even a mid-stage god emperor doesn't have it. He's only a mid-stage divine lord, yet he already has such a powerful strength. If it was me. Soccer Tianchao did not know what the man was thinking. Of course. Even if he knew, he would not care about him. At this moment, when the three women heard that the 9th continent's barrier had been broken and that it had appeared in the world, their expressions became nervous. "What should we do, Mu Ling?" Could this be the result of us using our clan's treasure and then completing it? Aya, it's fine, it's fine. If the barrier is broken, then it's broken. What's so good about hiding in the 9th continent? Look, there's food and play here. It's much better than the 9th continent. Anyway, I won't go back. I want to stay here, eat good food, and have fun. Hearing Mu Ling's words, the two women immediately rolled their eyes at him. Then, they looked at him with a look of admiration. Sakura Tianchao could only see the flirting between the three of them, but he did not care because of the comparison. After all, he did not know them. They were just making do at the table. Scram, can't you see that my young master is going over? Do you want it or not? Do you want to die? At this moment, just as everyone at the table was making their own wishful thinking, a discordant voice came from outside the window. After hearing this, Sakura Tianchao frowned. Wow, he knew that someone was disturbing his meal. He then turned his head to look out the window and saw more than 10 people driving the crowd on the street to both sides of the road. Looking at this scene, the taxi driver was very interested. He wanted to know what kind of people they were. They would actually bully others like this. Humph. Who are you? Aren't you just a second-generation hedonistic son? Besides, this is a path for everyone to walk, not just you. Don't you think you're going too far? Just as Sakura Tianchao thought that everyone was silent, a person suddenly jumped out and spoke to them in a deep voice. Oh, is that so? I am a disciple of the 9th continent's Danzong Sect. This is the son of my Danzong Sect's 9th elder. Su Ru, do you think you have the qualifications to be compared to my young master? 9th continent? Hearing the words of the person outside, Sakura Tianchao's interest was piqued. He had just heard that the 9th continent's barrier had been broken, and not long after he finished listening, the son of the 9th elder of the Danzong sect walked out. This plot was too melodramatic. What, the 9th continent? When the man who had just jumped out to criticize heard the name of the 9th continent, his legs went soft and he retreated backwards. His eyes were filled with fear. It was obvious that he was afraid. In everyone's hearts, the 9th continent was an extremely mysterious and terrifying place. According to the Forbidden Area, the 9th continent was undoubtedly the largest and most terrifying place in the God realm. No one was willing to enter this place, so when they heard the name of the 9th continent, the cultivators of the God realm felt a sense of fear in their hearts. Ha ha ha, when the person called Su Ru saw the man like this, he immediately burst into laughter. His eyes were filled with disdain as he swept his gaze across his surroundings in disgust. How could it be him? At this moment, when Mu Ling, who was sitting with Sakura Tianchao, saw Su Ru, his pupils were startled and his expression was somewhat stunned. At this moment, he truly realized that what he had heard just now was true and not a joke. At this moment, none of them noticed that Sakura Tianchao's face had gradually darkened. The refined aura from before had completely disappeared. Chapter 579. The 9th continent? Looking at those arrogant, despotic and pretentious people outside, Indra's face was already extremely cold. Coupled with his own elegant clothes, it was very mismatched at this moment. At this moment, Mu Ling and the others sitting opposite him naturally noticed that something was wrong with Indra. After feeling the cold killing intent from Indra, they were shocked by this scene. Hiss! Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air and hesitated. Previously, they had always thought that he was just a hedonistic son because he had so many subordinates by his side. But now, it seemed that they were wrong. At this moment, he ignored Mu Ling and the others sitting opposite him. When he heard that the people outside were people from the 9th continent, he was already tempted. He originally came out to gain experience, and he had always heard about how powerful the 9th continent was. Now that he really met people from the 9th continent, how could Indra not be happy? Then, his body flashed, and in an instant, he disappeared from the restaurant. The moment Mu Ling and the others discovered Indra's figure, they were already on the road outside. With a jade flute in his hand and his elegant clothes, he was just like a scholar. If it wasn't for the killing intent on his body, no one would think that he was a cultivator. Who are you? Can't you see that my young master Su Ru is going over? Are you courting death by blocking here? Since his master didn't bring him along, the lackey began to bare his fangs and brandish his claws. Indra completely ignored the other party's words. As if he didn't see anything, He raised his foot and walked step by step towards the person called Su-Ru. Step by step, when the lackey saw that Indra ignored him, he immediately felt humiliated. He felt that he had lost face. Then, his palm turned into a fist, and with a thunderous appearance, he instantly rushed towards Indra. In the air, there were countless fist shadows. They didn't seem to be carefully calculated, but they were all extremely powerful. However, at this moment, Indra was curious as if he didn't see anything. There was simply no place to go. Humph, you're just an ant. How dare you show off in front of this sovereign? Do you think this sovereign can't kill you? With a cold snort, the countless fist shadows were instantly destroyed by the aura of Indra's cold snort and disappeared in the air. What? Feeling that his fist intent was destroyed, the man's face was stunned. A bad premonition surged in his heart, and he immediately turned around and retreated. Hee, you dare to touch me? Wouldn't it be too easy for you to leave just like that? At this moment, Sakra, who seemed to have long known that the man was going to escape, casually. He instantly punched out, aiming at the man's dantian, and rushed up. Bam! Kocha! A cracking sound was heard, followed by a shrill scream. It instantly pierced through the man's mouth. His eyes were bloodshot, and he looked incredibly terrifying. His face was pale, and with his bloodshot eyes, he looked like a bloody corpse from hell. It was a terrifying sight to behold. Without the support of the spiritual power in his dantian, the man's body instantly went limp and knelt in front of Sakra. The man who didn't give up felt the spiritual power in his dantian, but no matter how he felt it. At this moment, his dantian had been completely returned. Even if he was the best alchemist in the Danzong sect, it would be impossible for him to restore it. Puff! Feeling better about his situation, the man's fighting spirit rushed to his heart, and then he spat out a mouthful of blood. He raised his trembling left hand, pointed at Sakra, and said in a cold tone, You actually gave my dantian to me. I won't let you go. Just you wait. I will never let you go. Looking at the man's appearance, Sakra didn't bother with him. After all, he was a cripple, and there was no need to make a move. However, after all, it was the Danzong sect. Everyone who came here was very strong. Everyone's strength was in the monarch god realm. Even the man whose dantian was destroyed by his punch was an early monarch god realm cultivator. The Danzong sect, as the name implied, was a cultivation sect that focused on alchemy. The strength of the sect couldn't be underestimated. After all, it was a sect that refined pills. The disciples' cultivation relied on pills to improve. Therefore, just now, although the man's strength was in the early monarch god realm, his strength was very erratic and not real at all. That was why he was destroyed by Sakra's punch. However, this scene, everyone was shocked. No matter if it was Su-Ru or Mu Ling who was sitting at the dining table, they never would have thought that such a refined person would be so unyielding and so vicious. They couldn't help but rejoice in their hearts. They were glad that they weren't so domineering before. Otherwise, they would have been the ones to fall. What, is this the strength of the 9th continent? The Danzong sect, is only Not far from Su-Ru, Sakra looked at the cultivators from the 9th continent and couldn't help but mock them. At this moment Su-Ru. Hearing someone humiliate the Danzong sect like this, she couldn't stand it. She couldn't take it anymore. She was someone who had been pampered since she was young. She had never been humiliated like this before. However, when she heard Sakra's words, the little volcano in her heart was instantly ignited. Humph, aunt, how dare you go against my Danzong sect? Do you know how powerful my Danzong sect is in the 9th continent? Aren't you afraid that my Danzong sect will hunt you down? When these words were spoken, everyone was stunned on the spot. They originally thought that this person called Su-Ru would make a move, but now, he was only verbally satisfied. In comparison, everyone couldn't help but look at him with contempt. Sigh. Looking at Su Yang's appearance, Sakra shook his head in disappointment. He had originally come here to train. He had thought that if he met someone from the 9th continent, he would be able to fight to his heart's content. But now, he had a new evaluation of the 9th continent. Weak, incompetent, cowardly, trash. Of course, he knew that these were only some people from the 9th continent and did not represent everyone. However, when he looked at these few, He was already disappointed. He turned around and prepared to return to the hotel. However, at this moment, a bone-chilling sword intent instantly appeared behind him, bringing with it a huge killing intent. Feeling this, Sakra's face lit up. The first feeling that this feeling gave him was that the dormant battle blood in his body was awakening. At this moment, it was boiling, as if it wanted to rush out of his body to fight for a while. At this moment, the sword in the flute in Sakra's hand, the moment it felt the huge sword intent, it instantly came out of its body. The place with spirituality blocked the troublesome and cold sword intent. Pang! The sound of weapons colliding resounded throughout the entire street. Everyone looked over and saw a long sword with a jade flute fighting against a person in the air. Hiss! The appearance of this scene made everyone unable to help but suck in a breath of cold air. Even their expressions were the same. They were all shocked. They had never seen this kind of artifact that could fight on its own. However, now that they saw it, how could they not be shocked? Hee, this person is getting more and more magical. He must have a lot of secrets on him. At this moment, Sakra did not know. Some of his actions deeply attracted Mu Ling, who was in the hotel. The curiosity of being cautious also became more and more intense. Humph, Aunt, you dare to sneak attack me. Do you really think this lord is easy to kill? At this moment, Sakra, who had turned around, looked at his magic tool in the sky and the man in black who had suddenly appeared fighting. Immediately, his brows were tightly knitted and his face was gloomy like ice, making people couldn't help but want to shiver. Ha ha ha, little doll, you're talking big. However, I don't know how strong you are. I'm not like that waist just now. Come on. Let me see what kind of strength you have. At this moment, the black-robed man in the sky looked at Sakra's appearance and said with a gloomy face. Looking at the skinny old man with a yellow face and big yellow teeth, Sakra did not pay attention to him. He casually waved his hand toward the sword in the flute in the air. In an instant, the sword in the flute broke away from the battle and returned to the scabbard. Looking at the black-robed old man, Sakra looked at him with a mysterious smile. There was a look of pity in his eyes. You want to fight with me? You're not qualified. Speaking of this, the black-robed man in the sky's face sank. Then, he wanted to make a move to catch Sakra off guard. But at this moment, just as the black-clothed man was about to attack, another black-clothed man with blood-red hair silently arrived behind the black-clothed old man and spoke to him with a deep voice. He was also a black-clothed man, but he gave off a tremendous amount of killing intent. He was a middle-aged man with blood-red hair. Humph, you dare to move my young master. Do you really think this lord is useless? A small late-stage monarch god cultivator. Die for me. Hearing this, the black-robed man's face was blank and his face was like dead ashes. When the middle-aged man spoke, the black-robed old man knew that he would not be able to survive today. Because at that moment, his body could no longer move. Gotcha! The middle-aged man succeeded and grabbed the black-robed old man's neck. With a light force, the black-robed old man's neck was already limp to the side. Haha, want to run? Do you think you can run in front of this lord? Just as the black-robed old man died, a palm-sized old man instantly rushed out from his abdomen and flew into the sky, wanting to escape. However, at this moment, the middle-aged man instantly moved. He raised his hand and a mysterious force wrapped around the palm-sized old man who wanted to escape. TSK, not bad. Your strength is quite pure and suitable for me to absorb. As soon as he said that, although his voice was very soft, the surrounding people were all experts. No matter how soft his voice was, they could still hear him. Hiss. Just where did this person come from? He can actually devour divine souls. At this moment, everyone began to guess about Sakra and the black-robed man, guessing where they came from. They guessed where their sect was and so on. Uncle Feng, after seeing the black-robed old man die, the young man called Suru was stunned for a moment. Then, he sobered up and roared towards the sky with a sorrowful face. His eyes were bloodshot and his face was ferocious and terrifying. In response to that person's roar, Sakra ignored him and waved his hand gently towards the sky. He said, "Kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive." What this? Sakra did not have any intention of hiding his words. He said it openly. Everyone was even more puzzled as to why Sakra waved his hand towards the sky. However, in the next moment, everyone reacted. After Sakra waved his hand, 6 men who looked like the black-robed middle-aged man appeared in the sky.
Yes, young master.
The Azura clansmen who received the order rushed forward with killing intent. Facing more than a dozen middle-stage divine monarch cultivators, it was naturally not a problem. Even if it was an early-stage divine monarch cultivator, they would probably be able to kill him on the spot. Even if it was a middle-stage god emperor, even if they could not kill him, it would at most be a draw. What? No, we are from the 9th Continent's Danzong Sect. Aren't you afraid of the Danzong Sect's revenge? Suru realized that something was wrong. Then, in order to protect his life, he brought out the Danzong Sect behind him. He wanted to use it as a shield to protect his life. However, he was wrong. Sakra's true body was Lin Rei. For an enemy who killed his wife and child, how could Lin Rei, who dared to kill millions of people, be weak as his avatar? Furthermore, in the past few hundred years, Sakra had been baptized by the Heavenly Slaughter Sect. He had killed countless people. He did not care about the lives of these few days. Although Sakra did not think that he was a good person, at the very least, he did not take the lives of ordinary people. As for this Suru, he had no bottom line. He could only kill such a person. Of course, the more important reason was that he was from the 9th Continent. He wanted to be hunted down by the experts of the 9th Continent. Only with pressure would he have motivation. Danzong Sect. So what if it's the Danzong Sect? Don't worry, sooner or later, I will make a trip to the Danzong Sect. However, when the time comes, we will see if the Danzong Sect can survive or not. After saying this, Sakra did not look at him again. He casually returned to his seat in the restaurant and sat down. He picked up the wine jar on the table and fiercely poured a mouthful of strong liquor into his mouth. His face revealed a comfortable smile. At this moment, Mu Ling and the other 3 sitting across the table had strange expressions. Their eyes were filled with fear as they looked at Sakra. At this moment, they did not look down on him. "Oh, no. I am the Danzong Sect's 9th elders." "Ah!" Miserable screams came from outside the window. Immediately, Mu Ling turned his head to look. At this moment, the 7 black-clothed men had already entered a state of killing. Every one of their attacks was extremely fierce. Every move was fatal, without a trace of emotion. Senior, they are the descendants of the 9th Continent Sect. Are you not afraid of being hunted down by the experts of the 9th Continent's Danzong Sect? Sakra, who was drinking, heard Mu Ling's question. Immediately, Sakra put down the wine jar in his hand and replied with disdain, "I'm afraid they won't come." Chapter 580. At this moment, Mu Ling and the others didn't treat Sakra's words as a joke. Because of the scene just now, they knew that Sakra had such strength. The news of the 9th Continent's appearance swept across the entire God Realm like a gust of wind. All the disciples of the sects and clans in the God Realm knew about the appearance of the 9th Continent. Furthermore, after the cultivators of the 9th Continent came out, they all warned their disciples that if they encountered such a situation outside, they should hide as much as possible. If they could not hide, they should not fight head-on. Of course, some people were still unconvinced. Take the saints and saintesses of the top sects for example. After all, they were born as the pride of the heavens. Now that the cultivators of the 9th Continent had appeared, how could they be convinced? However, after all, they were not Indra himself. Their strength was all grown under the care of their own family or sect's experts. The appearance of the 9th Continent. It was destined that the God Realm would enter an era of bloodshed. The peaceful God Realm would no longer be peaceful. In Nine Spirits Lake City, Lin Rei, who was in seclusion, had not woken up yet. Of course, he did not know about the appearance of the 9th Continent. Martial God stratagem, ultimate kill. At this moment, Lin Rei was bare-chested in the system's training field. He waved the Chaos Dragon spear in his hand vigorously. Every thrust of the spear was accompanied by the sound of thunder. After such a long time, I've finally seen the full potential of the stratagem of martial god. It's time to go out, right? Although he said so himself, he could not go out without the system's permission. After all, this was a training program specially designed for him by the system. You're right. It's very commendable that you've cultivated the stratagem of martial god to this level. However, you must guard against arrogance and impatience. Aaron, you're only at the peak of the Monarch God level. If you want to break through to the Emperor God level, it will depend on your hard work. As soon as the thought of going out appeared in his mind, the system spoke. However, what the system said was what Lin Rei wanted to hear at this moment. Okay, I got it. However, with my current strength, how will I fare against Xueqi? Do I have a chance of winning? Hee. Well, you'll only know when you fight. It's too early to know now. The system commented with a smile on Lin Rei's words. As for the system's evaluation, Lin Rei understood that there was still a large gap between his strength and Xueqi's. Alright, I got it. That's all then. Cultivation knows no time. I don't know how many years have passed here. Is Hu City still in good condition? With that, Lin Rei greeted the system. Then with a thought, his body disappeared from the system and returned to reality. Hee, it's been a long time since I smelled the outside. At this moment, he had already appeared in the formation that he had set up before he went into seclusion. When he smelled the outside air, Lin Rei couldn't help but breathe in the fresh air outside. An hour passed quickly. Lin Rei remained motionless in the formation. It's time to go out. I don't know how Lin Mei is doing, but with 15 around, she should be fine, right? With that, Lin Rei waved his hand and the formation around him instantly dissipated into nothingness. Rumble. Rumble. Rumble, however, at this moment, just as Lin Rei removed the formation, the earth shook and the mountains shook. Then, a crack began to spread under his feet. The crack grew bigger bit by bit, making Lin Rei dumbfounded. What's going on? In a panic, Lin Rei rose into the air. Then, he came to the sky above Hu City and looked down. At this moment, there was no good place in Hu City. Moreover, he could feel that there was no life in Hu City at this moment, except for a few. And just as Lin Rei was observing the entire Hu City, a figure was in the sky above the center of Hu City, emitting a huge aura and maintaining the speed of Hu City's collapse. However, Lin Rei felt that the aura of the figure was slowly weakening and was about to collapse. 15. The moment he saw the person's face, Lin Rei's expression changed. Then, his body flashed and he instantly came to 15's side. He supported him, who was already on the verge of collapse, with a pained look on his face. Young master, you. I finally waited for you to come back. Feeling that someone was supporting him, 15 turned his head with difficulty. When he saw that the person supporting him was Lin Rei, who had been in seclusion for a long time, he immediately relaxed. Well, you don't have to say anything. You've done very well. Since I'm back, you should go rest and recover. With that, Lin Rei didn't understand 15's rebuttal. Then, with a thought, he instantly put 15 into the system. After doing all this, Lin Rei's gaze began to slowly turn cold. To him, 15 was no longer just a subordinate. They were no longer simple subordinates. They were his family members. Now that he saw his family members in such a state, he couldn't help but sigh. How could his heart not hurt? Xueqi. I didn't look for you, but you provoked me first. In that case, come at me. With that said, in order to stabilize Hu City, Lin Rei waved his hand and a venerable level guardian formation instantly appeared in the air. With the input of Lin Rei's power bit by bit, the formation also slowly expanded with the input of Lin Rei's energy. Bit by bit, until finally, it successfully enveloped the entire Hu City. Lin Rei's face was filled with joy. Then, with a word, he fixed the guardian formation on the entire Hu City. In an instant, the formation lost the support of 15's power the moment it was formed. He was not sure if Xueqi would agree. Okay, I agree. Linley was stunned. He had thought that it would take a long time before he would be able to take down the demonic phoenix, but it had agreed so easily. In comparison, Linley was stunned. He stared down in disbelief. As the saying goes, there must be a demon when things are abnormal. Now that Xueqi agreed so easily, Lin Rei began to feel a little uneasy. But in front of him, he did not want to give up such a great opportunity. Okay, since you said so, I will believe you for the time being. After all, you're a saint expert. After saying that, he did not care if Xueqi said anything. He instantly entered the system. System. Do you have a magic treasure that can pass through the boundary? Like the thing that the little dragon gave me last time. After such a long period of training and familiarizing himself with the system, Lin Rei began to be impolite. Humph, brat. You only know how to cheat me. Although the system said so and its tone was full of complaints, in the next moment, two bright lights appeared in front of him. This is the boundary-breaking formation. It is a very terrifying thing. I am afraid that even Xueqi has not seen this thing before. Hee, I know that the system is the best. Looking at the two bright lights in front of him, Lin Rei looked up at the sky and thanked the system. Thank you. After saying that, Lin Rei could not wait to get out of the system. His empty left hand was now holding something with a bright light. Hee, looking at the break world array on the phone, Lin Li's face lit up. He looked at Evil Phoenix who was underground and said, Senior, I will ask you one more time. What you promised before, are you sure you can do it? If you can, I will save you right now. Lin Rei was very cautious about this matter. After all, he was about to face Xueqi, who was a sage, and not some immortal emperor or immortal prime cultivator like before. He had to be careful about this matter. Otherwise, he would suffer a loss and he would not even have a place to cry. Humph, I am a man of my word. As long as I say it, it will naturally count. Of course, if you can't get me out now, when I break through the boundary, I will hunt you down to the ends of the earth. Hearing this, Lin Rei was slightly relieved. After all, it was not easy for a sage to say this. All right, since you've said so, I'll save you right now. After saying that, without waiting for Xueqi to react, he used a simple ground drilling skill and rushed deep into the ground. With the cultivation base of a peak monarch god, the speed of the ground drilling skill was very fast. It was almost 1,000 meters per year. A few minutes later, just as he was about to continue going deeper, a mysterious energy suddenly bounced him back. Feeling this, Lin Rei was delighted. He then slowly came to the place where he was bounced and reached out to touch it. Instantly, an enormous surge of energy, so vast that it made Lin Li feel as though it was boundless, entered his body. Damn this! The mysterious energy came so fast that Lin Rei did not even have the chance to react. He felt that the energy had already arrived at his elixir palace. Damn, get out of here. The elixir field was the foundation of a cultivator. If the elixir field was destroyed, the cultivator's path would come to an end. However, Lin Rei was too naive. He originally thought that the energy could be destroyed. In the end, under Lin Rei's heavy encirclement, that mysterious energy was like cutting through tofu. It effortlessly cut through the shackles that Lin Rei did not know about in the elixir palace. Feeling this scene, Lin Rei's face turned pale instantly. His face was ashen. Sigh, what sin have I committed? Since it's like this, tisk, alright, don't embarrass yourself. That energy will not harm you. Instead, it will be interested in you. So don't worry. At this moment, the system's voice sounded. Instantly, Lin Rei's worries were suppressed. Really? Lin Rei, who was sober, wanted to confirm. However, the system did not care about him at this moment. It had already fallen into silence. Seeing that the system did not care about him, Lin Rei gave up on asking the system. Since it said that he was fine, it meant that he was really fine. Then, he did not care about the mysterious energy in his elixir field. He raised his left hand and the boundary-breaking formation appeared instantly. Lin Rei's left hand went down and slapped the boundary-breaking formation. Suddenly, the boundary-breaking formation in his hand stuck on the mysterious boundary-breaking formation. With a swoosh, a huge whirlpool appeared in front of Lin Rei. Chapter 581. Looking at the whirlpool, Lin Rei's face lit up with joy. Without hesitation, he jumped into the warm nest. Boom! At this moment, Lin Rei truly understood what it meant to have a single thought between heaven and hell. At this moment, the moment Lin Rei entered the space where Xueqi was without any preparation, a scorching wave of flame hit him in the face. F***CK. Subconsciously, he could sense how terrifying those waves of flame were. The instant he sensed it, the illusory spirit bloodfire appeared, wrapping him tightly within it. Those waves of flame that were charging towards him were blocked outside by the illusory spirit bloodfire. What surprised Lin Rei was that when the flame wave felt the illusory spirit blood fire on Lin Rei, it did not dare to approach him. Instead, it retreated quickly. Well, what kind of flame is this? It has such an effect. At this moment, the moment she felt Lin Rei enter, Xueqi used her divine sense to explore. Coincidentally, she saw the flame retreating. Although he was from the untainted land, this was the first time he had seen such a thing. In his mind, even if the flame was of a different grade, such a situation would not occur. At most, it would retreat 2 steps in fear. At this moment, the flame had retreated to a radius of 3 miles. Haha, this little guy has so many secrets. At this moment, Xueqi began to have a good impression of Lin Rei. Lin Rei was naturally happy about this situation. He was very grateful to the illusory spirit blood fire. Since he entered the Death Canyon until now, without the illusory spirit blood fire, he would not have been able to reach this place. Perhaps he would have been obliterated at the first level of the Death Canyon. Host, release the flaming tiger. It is of the fire attribute. This place can help it cultivate. Maybe it will be surprised when it absorbs the flame here?
Oh, is that so?
Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei's expression changed. Although he had doubts, he had already released the flaming tiger. Woo! In an instant, a huge figure rushed out of Lin Rei's body. Accompanied by a shocking tiger roar, it was incomparably mighty. Master, didn't you say you would release me? This time it took so long. You lied to me again? Once the flaming tiger came out, it went to Lin Rei's side and began to pour out its grievances in front of him.
Haha.
Lin Rei felt helpless about the flaming tiger's complaints. However, this place was very rare. He did not want the flaming tiger to delay. Little tiger, you can cultivate here first. How about this, when you reach my level, I will let you follow me. You can follow me at any time, and I will not let you put away. What do you think?
Is that?
Hearing this, the flaming tiger's eyes were filled with doubt. It raised its huge head and questioned Lin Rei. This of course. I won't lie to you. Listen to me and hurry up and cultivate. As he spoke, Lin Rei's face could not help but sweat. When he said this, Lin Rei did not have much confidence in his heart. That I won't lie to you made Lin Rei feel very conflicted. After all, he had lied to him many times. Fine. I'll believe you this time. However, this time it must be true. Although it was very unwilling to believe it, Lin Rei was its master after all. Similarly, it also needed to cultivate. Therefore, after saying this, the flaming tiger lay on the ground and began to cultivate. Of course, the flaming tiger did not listen to this sentence. Because of the previous lesson, phew. Seeing that the flaming tiger had entered cultivation, Luo Yunyang waved his hand and a supreme-level protective array formation instantly appeared around the flaming tiger to protect it. Although it was very difficult to encounter danger here, it was still necessary to be on guard. Even Luo Yunyang himself was the same. Although he had a deal with Xueqi and Xueqi had agreed to it, it was better to be vigilant. After all, the disparity between the two of them was too great. Come, I'm in the central area of this space. Come here and you will be able to see my true body. At this moment, Xueqi's voice sounded again. Lin Rei frowned. Then, he secretly operated his cultivation technique and prepared for any abnormalities. Whoosh! In an instant, his body soared into the sky, found a direction, and quickly rushed in that direction. Previously, when Lin Rei entered, he did not feel it. At this moment, after flying for a long time, he finally felt the capacity of this space. Lin Rei had been flying for 5 minutes. According to his speed, he was probably hundreds of thousands of miles away from the outside. Although he did not know where this place was, it should not be bad. F***CK. Where the F***CK is this place? At least give me a direction. If this is a circle, then I'll have to keep going around like this. It was not that Lin Rei did not think of this idea, but he always had a fluke mentality in his heart. Sigh. Forget it, I'll do it. Hearing this, Lin Rei was startled. Then, his previous thoughts were confirmed. It was because of this matter. A terrifying energy instantly appeared and wrapped around his body. Then, his vision blurred. When he appeared again, he was already in front of Xueqi. Plop. Because he was wrapped in Xiefeng's energy, Lin Rei did not use his cultivation at all. Who knew, at this moment, the energy suddenly disappeared, catching Lin Rei unprepared. He directly fell from the sky to the ground. Damn! Can't you tell me when you remove the energy? If you do this, Lin Rei complained. The moment he stood up and turned around, an extremely huge wind appeared in front of Lin Rei. Raising his head, Lin Rei looked at Xiefeng, who left him in the dust. He could not help but swallow his saliva. His eyes were full of shock. Hee, put away the saliva at the corner of your mouth. Everyone who sees me will think of you like this. Lin Rei, who was still in shock, suddenly heard such a shameless and narcissistic sentence. He was instantly stunned. At this moment, he started to be magnanimous towards Xiefeng again. This was different from what he had expected. After being stunned for a while, Lin Rei's expression became serious when he regained his senses. His tone was even more serious. All right, let's talk about our conditions. Now that you know my ability, shouldn't you? That's right. Before Linley could finish speaking, Evil Phoenix interrupted him. I can agree to all of your previous conditions. 3 conditions, and I'll give you a stroke of good fortune. Seeing as you are now a peak stage divine sovereign, I won't write anything down and will allow you to instantly become a god emperor. What do you say? What, are you serious? At this moment, Lin Rei took a step forward excitedly. Perhaps it was because of the emperor god level and that voice that attracted him instantly. However, in the next moment, Lin Rei regained his senses and knew that he was strange. He immediately coughed twice and returned to his original position. That's right. Of course, what I said is true. My words carry enormous weight. If you are not the only one, you can ask the ancestral dragon. Back then, I gave up a lot of things for him. At this point, Xiefeng's gaze became gentle and her aura also underwent a subtle change at this moment. The ancestral dragon. Lin Rei knew about the ancestral dragon. There were only 4 ancestral dragons in the untainted land. Heaven, Earth, Black, and Yellow. They were the ancestors of the dragon group. However, this great tribulation of the Dragon Han era ended up as nutrients for the heaven and earth. Gotcha! A cracking sound was heard. Suddenly, it attracted Lin Rei's attention. Following the sound, Lin Rei's gaze turned to a huge egg placed not far from this building. Hiss! It can't be! It can't be! Looking at the huge egg, Lin Rei's eyes were filled with disbelief. At this moment, he already had an answer in his heart. There was such an egg here. In addition to the surrounding sea of fire, it was conceivable that this was Xiefeng's egg. Boy, don't look at it. This thing is not for you to look at. Originally, I planned to send my son out even at the risk of my divine soul being destroyed. However, I didn't expect you to come in so easily. Now, I don't need to do it anymore. Hearing this, Lin Rei smiled bitterly. If he had known this, he would have chosen again. The huge egg in front of him was very tempting. This was the child of an expert in the untainted land. After it was born, it would definitely be extraordinary. Well, I know. Even so, Lin Rei's eyes still glanced at the huge egg from time to time. After all, the temptation of this thing was so tempting that Lin Rei could not resist it. Boy, besides those old things, you are the first one to call yourself I in front of me. Hearing the evil phoenix's words and seeing that she wasn't displeased, Linley immediately relaxed. I'm not one of those old bastards. What's more, we have a mutually beneficial relationship. Why should I lower myself? Hearing this, Xiefeng appreciated Lin Rei even more. Tut, with such wisdom and determination, I am afraid that this boy will become a great existence in the future. Lin Rei did not know about Xiefeng's thoughts at all. Well, tell me about the 3 conditions. Well, say it. As long as I can do it, I will not go back on my words. Seeing how great this building was, Linley didn't try to hide it any longer. All right, then I'll tell you. With that, Lin Rei said the 3 conditions in his heart. First, you have to help me find the 3 ghost kings who were suppressed in the ghost realm when they were alive. Let me open the reincarnation mirror to find my wife and children. Oh, ghost kings? Those 3 little guys? Are you sure you want to use this condition? At this moment, Xiefeng heard Lin Rei's words and looked at him with a strange expression. She really did not expect that the 3 conditions she agreed to would be so easy. Lin Rei did not know how to answer Xiefeng's words, although it was very easy for her. But it was very difficult for him. And he had to wait for a while. If there was no Xiefeng's matter, he was afraid that the waiting time would be even longer.
Yes.
As long as you let me get what I want, then the first thing is done. Hearing this, Xiefeng did not say anything. Since it was like this, it was not good for her to say more. It was troublesome to mess with him. I haven't thought of the second one yet, but I will tell you when I think of it.
What?
You didn't. At this moment, Xiefeng, who had been calm all the time, was not calm anymore. She thought that he had thought of the 3 conditions, but now, that, you can rest assured. Even so, you can leave if you want. This noble one will not stop you, but if this noble one thinks of it, you have to help me do it. Don't delay my business.
Phew.
Hearing Lin Rei's explanation, Xiefeng was finally relieved. Okay, I agree to this. Since the second condition was not thought of, the third one was even more so. Okay, since you have no more conditions, then this noble one will agree to the opportunity that I promised to give you before.
Hi.
Hearing Xiefeng's words, Lin Rei wanted to say something, but he saw a black shadow appear in an instant, and a fiery red energy instantly entered his body. Seeing this, Lin Rei's heart was filled with helplessness. I just broke through, and I haven't stabilized yet. If I break through now, my foundation. Thinking of this, Lin Rei wanted to refuse, but at this moment, the huge amount of energy that entered his body began to help him increase all his functions and the capacity of his dantian.
Damn this.
Feeling this, Lin Rei could not help but be shocked. This was not only increasing his cultivation to Emperor God, but also increasing his strength completely. Thinking of this, Lin Rei could not help but feel the strength of his physical body.
This.
At this moment, the strength of his physical body was increasing at a very fast speed. How is it? This noble one said that if I increase your strength, you will not be short of the opportunity that we agreed on. Hearing Xiefeng's words, Lin Rei did not have a chance. He closed his eyes and began to seriously absorb the spiritual energy that Xiefeng inserted into his body.
Ka. Bang.
Crack. At this moment, Lin Rei only felt that his strength was increasing exponentially, and the feeling that came from his body made him feel very comfortable. Xiefeng, you actually want to escape from the boundary that I set up. You are really bold, aren't you? Right now in the outside world, the evil phoenix was waiting for Linli to make his breakthrough so that he could take her and her son away. But who would have thought that right at this moment, a voice that she loathed and disgusted with could be heard. From that voice, one could tell that it was filled with hostility and hatred.
Hao Tian?
At this moment, Xiefeng was no longer calm. Her eyes were filled with hatred, and she instantly blurted out these harsh words. The evil phoenix had never forgotten this voice. When Hao Tian was still Hongjuan's Dao child, she gave him some cultivation experience and some connate treasures. Later on, he ungratefully suppressed her. Since then, Hao Tian had been killed by Hongjun. As soon as Xiefeng heard Hao Tian's voice, she knew that this voice belonged to Hao Tian. Chapter 582.
Fits me.
Hao Tian's voice sounded again. Xiefeng realized that it wasn't her intuition. Hao Tian had appeared. At this moment, the evil phoenix released its divine sense and enveloped the entire underground world. However, what puzzled the evil phoenix was that there was no trace of Hao Tian in the underground world. There was also no trace of his aura. Hao Tian, I treated you well back then, but what about you? You want me dead? You ungrateful thing, you. She carefully probed with her consciousness as she spoke. Although she knew that Hao Tian wasn't as strong as her, he had Hongjun, who had fused with Tendo. She had to be careful. Xiefeng, I suppressed you back then because I didn't want the ancient beasts to appear in this world. But you, after such a long time, you still don't repent and want to break out of the formation. Tell me, how should I deal with you?
You deal with me.
Hao Tian, it's not that I'm looking down on you, but you're not a connate demon god, nor are you one of the first divine spirits to emerge from the realms. Tell me, what right do you have to spout such nonsense? You can deal with me however you want. The evil phoenix mocked with disdain. Hao Tian, It's not that I'm looking down on you. So much time has passed, and you're not even a connate demon god, much less one of the first divine spirits to emerge from the realms. At this point, the evil phoenix seemed to have hit a sore spot and its tone became agitated. Back then, if it wasn't for Hong Jun, would you have been able to defeat and seal me with just your 9 revolutions golden body technique?
Humph, even now, I'm not afraid of you, let alone back then.
The atmosphere in the underground world began to condense. Smoke filled the air, and the situation became tense. Crack, crack. Just at that moment, the sound of something shattering rang out. The evil phoenix frowned and turned to look at the huge egg beside it. Numerous cracks appeared on the egg, and as the cracks grew larger and larger, they became densely packed. Why would he be born at this time?
It shouldn't be.
Looking at the birth of her son, Xueqi did not look as surprised or excited as she had imagined. Instead, she looked worried and doubtful.
Not bad.
I didn't expect you to be so lucky back then. You actually brought a vile spawn of the Phoenix clan. Since that's the case, all of you can die.
Humph, Haotian, how dare you?
Hearing Haotian's words, Xueqi tensed up. Although she knew that she was very strong, after so many years, no one knew how strong she was. However, in order to protect her son, in order to protect the only successor of the Phoenixes, she must protect his life with her life. She could not let him die as soon as he was born.
Ha!
Haotian's sword. Destroy it for me. Swish, Haotian yelled, and in the next moment, an invisible sword blade with immense sword intent appeared beside the giant egg. How is this possible? Feeling the immense sword intent, Xueqi was a little stunned. However, it was related to her son's life. After a moment of hesitation, she came back to her senses and instantly came in front of the giant egg. A pair of wings instantly wrapped the giant egg in her arms. At this moment, the sword blade that Haotian shot out arrived in front of her. Unable to dodge in time, Xueqi gritted her teeth and then used her body to block the attack.
Bang!
A loud sound was heard. Feeling Haotian's sword intent, Xueqi sneered. Just now, she personally experienced Haotian's sword intent. Although it looked very strong, there was nothing in her stomach at all. It was as if Haotian's attack was the same as when he suppressed her. It was at the peak of the ultimate god realm. Humph, you're injured. Xueqi's clan can't exist in this world. Die for me. Without waiting for Xueqi to slow down, 7 or 8 densely packed sword intents rushed towards her. Although she had escaped from the previous situation, she did not dare to be careless. Before the sword intents arrived, Xueqi wrapped the giant egg and instantly came in front of Lin Rei. Then, a mysterious formation wrapped Lin Rei and the giant egg. The moment she finished setting up the formation, she unfolded her huge wings. The moment her fiery red wings flapped hard, she instantly disappeared from Lin Rei's surroundings.
Don't go take my sword.
In this way, the place where Lin Rei was quiet. At this moment, the cracking sound was getting more and more intense. The giant egg standing beside him was splitting and disintegrating little by little. Just a little more, just a little more. As long as I can improve a little more, I can smoothly break through the realm. I can become a true god emperor. Previously, when he received Xueqi's help, he had a look of reluctance. He was afraid that this matter would destroy his own traces. However, after feeling the gentle form of the energy, in addition to the performance of various incidents, he knew that the energy in his body that helped him to improve his realm did not bring any inconvenience to him. Immediately, he felt relieved. At this moment, the spiritual energy in his divine soul in his Dan Palace was advancing at a speed that left Lin Rei in the dust. Advancing at this speed was extremely difficult. Could it be that Lin Rei could not stand it anymore?
Gotcha.
Gotcha. The cracking sound was still ringing out. Lin Rei, who was excited because of his breakthrough, was puzzled. TSK, what's this sound? Is Xueqi breaking my bones?
No.
It can't be. Xueqi doesn't look like that kind of person. Hearing the cracking sound, Lin Rei was no longer in the mood to cultivate his Buddhist energy. However, the hole in his brain was too big. How could he think of such a thing?
Ow.
At this moment, the sound of a young bird was transmitted into Lin Rei's mind. At this moment, he was even more puzzled. What was the sound of something being broken, coupled with the sound of a young bird? At this moment, Lin Rei could not help but think of the huge egg that Xueqi had stretched out her hand when he first came in. It can't be. Isn't that thing always guarded by this building? This, although he could not figure it out, Lin Rei did not think too much about it. At this moment, he could not be distracted. Once he was distracted, he would be the one who would be injured. Following which, Lin Rei continued to cultivate. As the saying went, one's ears did not pay attention to the outside world. At this moment, he had entered the deepest state of cultivation. At this moment, all his senses of the outside world had disappeared. He had entered a feeling of nothingness. Bang, bang, bang. At this moment, at the place where Lin Rei was, there were sounds of explosions coming from very far away. If there were no trees here, then this place would have been filled with yellow sand and trees. Xueqi, I will ask you one last time. Are you going back or not? If you go back, then this matter will be over. I will not make things difficult for you. Of course, as long as you can go back, this is the prerequisite. Humph, you want me to go back? That's impossible. Today, I will definitely come out. What can you do to me? At this point, he already knew that there was no turning back for this matter. Come on, let me see how long you have been suppressed here. Let me see how much your cultivation has improved. With that, the two of them instantly started fighting. However, at this moment, Xueqi still could not find Hao Tian's figure. She was just talking to the air, but those huge sword intents were indeed there. In the holy world, in the central heavenly court, a dignified person wearing a dragon robe and a dragon crown sat in the middle. His originally closed eyes suddenly opened at this moment. A ray of light instantly appeared in his eyes. Oh no, Xueqi is about to be born. What? Xueqi, that one? At this moment. Now, after hearing the man's words, everyone was shocked and horrified. As they spoke, they could not help but imagine Xueqi swallowing the nirvana flames of the phoenix. She seemed to have gone crazy and was slaughtering the living beings in the world. Hiss! Thinking of this, everyone shuddered at the same time, and their faces turned pale. That's right. The divine soul that I placed above the enchantment to suppress Xueqi has been awakened just now. This means that Xueqi is about to be born. Moreover, this time, a very interesting young man is helping her. What? The man's words stunned everyone. However, immediately, one of the white-haired old Taoists in a Taoist robe walked out of the crowd and said to the man sitting at the top, Heaven Emperor, you must be careful about this matter. In order to suppress Xueqi, we ask the Taoist ancestor. If this Xueqi holds a grudge against you for suppressing her, then, yes, Heaven Emperor, we should be careful about this matter. I don't think we should let Saint Tianhao take a look. If it's true, we can prepare in advance or let Saint Tianhao kill her on the spot. Yes. Immortal Shangqing is right. If Xueqi is really born, then what we did to her back then. Hiss. At this moment, after the first person spoke, the second and third person followed. Everyone's face was filled with horror and fear. Xueqi would be very happy if she knew about this scene. Of course. If Xueqi saw the man in the dragon robe here, she would not hesitate to rush up and kill him because he was Hao Tian, the Taoist child of Dao Reunion Hongjun. Haha, it's easy for you to say. If Xueqi is really like what you said, then it would be great. Although the great Dao has disappeared and Tendo is in charge, Xueqi is still the first batch of living beings born in heaven and earth. Even Saint Nuwa would not dare to say such a thing. This, hearing Hao Tian's words, everyone shut up. After all, Xueqi was the first batch of living beings born in heaven and earth. Even Nuwa would not dare to say such a thing. So what could they do? Then should this matter be left unsettled? If Xueqi is born and goes straight to the holy world, then there will be consequences. Heaven Emperor, have you thought about it? Although our heavenly court has great influence in the holy world, if it really happens, what will happen? After a middle-aged man finished speaking, the scene fell silent. Hao Tian's expression became even uglier. The other party was right. The evil phoenix's strength could not be underestimated. After suppressing the evil phoenix, he knew that most of its power came from the Dao ancestor. If he bought it again, he would be able to use it again. If he bought it again, he would not be able to do it with his current strength. TSK, how should we deal with it? Should we report Xueqi to the Tao ancestor? He suppressed Xuefeng back then. If now. Thinking of this, a majestic and unquestionable voice involuntarily appeared in his mind. Haotian, I will not interfere in this matter. However, this matter has already happened, so we have to find a way to resolve it.
After the great calamity of the Dragon Han era, although the Phoenix clan became the last branch in the world, if she dares to run amok, we will not spare her.
Hao Tian became excited when he heard that. That voice was not someone else's. Although it was unfamiliar to others, it was very familiar to him. It was the voice of the Tao ancestor, the master he had served for who knows how many eras. But Tao ancestor, Xuefeng's strength is extraordinary. Even with my current strength, I can't defeat her, and I, the Tao ancestor who seemed to know what Haotian was going to say, immediately said, don't worry. I have already told them about this matter. If Xuefeng really comes, they will help you. Hearing this, Haotian completely relaxed at this moment.
The worry in his heart disappeared at this moment.
Thank you Tao ancestor for planning for me. I am really ashamed, Okay, that's enough. This matter is settled. There should be. Help me find a person with a purple bloodline. Cheering for this person is very important. Remember, if you find him, don't come up. You must treat him with respect. If you find him, don't come up. When you find him, send me a message and I will personally come. What, a person with purple bloodline? Yes. Seeing Haotian's shock, the Tao ancestor quickly asked, why, you know of his existence? Hearing this, Haotian said without hesitation. It's like this, a few days ago, the Xueqi sect. Just like this, the Xueqi sect notified all the big sects in the Holy World, Divine World, Immortal World and Mortal World. They said that if they find someone with purple bloodline, they will definitely reward you greatly.
There is such a thing?
Hearing this, the Tao ancestor fell silent for a moment and then said, keep a close eye on the Xueqi sect. Observe their every move. If you really find someone with purple bloodline, discuss it and ask them to give it up. Of course, if not, At this moment, Haotian felt a terrifying killing intent. It was a killing intent that made his body tremble and freeze. All right, that's all for now. I'll be taking my leave. Now that I've reached the Tao unification stage, all of my actions are restricted. After saying this, the Tao ancestor's voice disappeared in Haotian's mind. At this moment, Haotian was still sitting in his seat, but his face was blank and pale. He was completely different from before. What's going on? Why is the Heaven Emperor like this? At this moment, the people standing below felt Haotian's abnormality and started whispering to each other worriedly. Chapter 583. All right, that's all for now. As for Xuefeng, the Emperor will take care of it. If you have something to say it quickly. If not, you may leave. The Emperor is a little tired today. Hearing Haotian's words, everyone was stunned. However, they did not dare to neglect Haotian's words.
Yes, then we'll take our leave.
Just like that, everyone left the palace with doubts and flew back to their own dojos. At this moment, Haotian, who was still sitting on the throne, looked at the empty palace and waved his hand. Whoosh! At this moment, Haotian waved his hand and 8 men in black appeared in front of him. Plop! The 8 men knelt down the moment they saw Haotian.
We, the Shadow Gods, pay our respects to the Emperor of Heaven.
May I know why the Emperor of Heaven has summoned us? Haotian, who was sitting on the throne, heard their voices and said to them without even looking up. Go and find a person with purple bloodline for the Emperor. Once you find him, you can appear in front of others with your real faces. Moreover, the Emperor will give you a new identity. Emperor of Heaven? Emperor of Heaven, are you serious? Can you really give us a real identity? At this moment, the 8 Shadow Guards heard Haotian's words and knelt down excitedly. They were eager to try. Looking at them, Haotian sneered in his heart, as Shadow Guards, your natural duty is to hide in the dark and protect the Emperor. The moment you became Shadow Guards, you were destined to never see the light of day again. Although Haotian thought so, he did not say it out loud.
Yes, the Emperor of Heaven is a man of his word.
As long as you find the person with purple bloodline, the Emperor of Heaven will fulfill his promise. Of course.
If you want to get a position in the heavenly court, the Emperor of Heaven will arrange it for you. The 8 shadow guards looked at Hao Tian, who was sitting on the throne. His aura of righteousness was awe-inspiring. At this moment, they all believed him. Yes, I will not let you down. I will definitely find someone with a purple bloodline for you, Celestial Emperor. Seeing how determined they were, Hao Tian sneered and waved his hand to dismiss them. All right, all of you may leave. Remember, this matter is only known to the 8 of you. If the Emperor hears about this from others, then all of you, humph. At the end of his words, Hao Tian's eyes suddenly turned cold, and he looked at them with a murderous look. Yes. We will definitely complete the mission that you, Heavenly Emperor, have given us. We will definitely not fail. With that, everyone kowtowed to Hao Tian again before slowly exiting the palace. Hao Tian's face turned cold as he watched the 8 of them disappear. The murderous intent in his eyes overshadowed his righteousness. You want to see the light? Haha, what a joke. A bunch of rats who have been hiding their whole lives actually dares to negotiate with the Emperor. At this point, the Sky Emperor looked at the sky with his deep eyes and then slowly closed his eyes. The moment the Sky Emperor closed his eyes, the murderous aura retreated into his body and the great righteousness appeared again, filling Hao Tian. Bang! At this moment, Xueqi was fighting with the consciousness left behind by Hao Tian in the underground of Xueqi Lake City. Unfortunately, Xueqi did not discover the location of Hao Tian's remnant shadow at all. Humph! I found you by the carriage. At this moment, Xueqi looked around. Seeing that there was no sword chi rushing out, Xueqi's face turned cold. This move was the most humiliating in his life. He did not discover any trace of the enemy. If he had to go out, the reputation of the Phoenix tribe would be ruined. A woo, a phoenix cry, accompanied by waves of flames, filled the entire underground world in an instant. He's born? How can it be? How can he be born now? It shouldn't be. At this moment, when he heard the phoenix's cry, he knew that it was the sound of his son being born. However, there was no joy on his face. He was full of doubts. In addition, the flames in the underground world were all from the undying volcano. As long as someone from the Phoenix tribe was born, the flames from the undying volcano would cause a huge uproar. Therefore, the flames and the phoenix's cry were enough to prove that someone from the Phoenix tribe was born. Mother! Mother! At this moment, in the central area of the underground world, Lin Rei sat cross-legged in the air with a smile on his face. However, his eyes were still closed. At this moment, the gigantic egg beside Lin Rei had disappeared. All that was left was a body of fiery red feathers with flames around it. It had a shifty look as it circled around Lin Rei, calling out the word mother to Lin Rei. Thankfully, Lin Rei was at the most critical moment of breaking through. He had already shut down his consciousness, hearing, and other senses. Otherwise, if he were to hear the words of this little phoenix, he would definitely be so pissed that he would come out of his cultivation state and smack him in the butt with a ruler. Mother! Mother! It was a young boy who looked like he was only 3 or 4 years old at most. His childish voice was extremely adorable. If he were to appear on planet Aqua Blue, everyone would definitely fall in love with him. Shoo! Just at this moment, just as the little phoenix was circling around Linley and calling out for its mother, a huge fiery red figure rushed over from the distance at an extremely fast speed. Mommy! Mommy! Can you play with me? At this moment, when the evil phoenix heard her own child calling a stranger mother again, she felt cold. At the same time, she felt a little uncomfortable in her heart. Ha! At this moment, the little phoenix had also noticed Xueqi who had just arrived. He looked over with a puzzled expression. Why do you look the same as me? My mother is cultivating right now. Don't disturb her. At this moment, the little phoenix spread out his tender wings, wanting to stop Xueqi in her tracks. At the same time, he stood in front of Lin Rei, looking as though he wanted to protect his mother. Looking at her own son in front of her, looking like a fierce Prince Charming, Xueqi felt as though a knife was being twisted in her heart. She also felt a trace of happiness. After all, he had just been born and she wasn't by his side. It was normal that he didn't know. Seeing him protect his mother like this made her heart feel warm. Of course, it was just that he had mistaken her for his mother in the end. Hee, Feng Su, you've made a mistake. I'm your mother. The person behind you is here to escort us out. Don't you see that we look like parents? Is that person a human? Xie Feng felt helpless about her own explanation, but she had no choice. Who asked her to come late? Ha! Is that so? Hearing Evil Phoenix's words, the little phoenix turned to look at Linley, puzzled. A puzzled look appeared in his eyes, but then he turned back to look at Evil Phoenix. For some reason, his gaze was much friendlier than before. That's right. Moreover, Feng Su, this is your name. This is the name I gave you before you were born. With that, Xie Feng's eyes were filled with gentleness. She stepped forward and walked towards the little phoenix step by step. Although she still had some doubts about her son's birth, a son was a son after all. When she saw Feng Su at this moment, all her previous doubts were thrown to the back of her mind. No, wait. I have to wait for my mother to wake up and ask her. She said not to trust strangers. Wait first. At this moment, Xie Feng was very regretful when she heard the little phoenix's words. She really wanted to give herself 2 big slaps. Damn, what did I say to Feng Su back then? I didn't expect that these words would be used on me in the end. Thinking of this, Xie Feng felt a wave of regret. But it was too late to regret. Things had already become like this. It was probably too late to go back on her words. Sigh. Okay. Whatever you say, okay. But Feng Su, eat your egg first. Eat your eggshell first. It's good for you. Looking at Feng Su's appearance, Xie Feng could only do this. Xie Feng was very unhappy with Lin Rei now. Feng Su heard Xie Feng's words. He turned to look at the eggshell beside him. Physically, he didn't want to eat it, but a voice from his soul told him to eat it. Okay, I got it. With that, Feng Su went to the eggshell and lowered his head to eat it. Then, the sound of munching could be heard. When Xie Feng heard the sound of her son eating, a smile appeared on her face. Her eyes were very gentle at this moment. The murderous aura from before had completely disappeared at this moment. Woo! At this moment, just as Feng Su was happily eating, a tiger's roar came from afar. The tiger's roar had the domineering aura of a king, and the voice was filled with fierce murderous aura. The tiger's roar shocked Feng Su. He immediately gave up eating and went to Lin Rei's side to seek protection. When Xie Feng saw this, the gentleness on her face disappeared. Then, she turned to look in the direction of the tiger's roar. Then, the fiery red wings carried its huge body and instantly disappeared from the spot. The phoenix's speed was very fast. In the blink of an eye, Xie Feng arrived at the location of the tiger's roar. She lowered her head and looked down on the ground. She saw a huge tiger that was filled with undying flames. Its aura had reached the level of an emperor god. Xie Feng saw this scene and was very shocked. However, what shocked Xie Feng even more was that at this moment, a pair of phoenix-like wings appeared on the tiger's body. How is this possible? What kind of species is this? This scene had already stunned Xie Feng. She didn't expect this tiger to have wings like hers. Woo! At this moment, the scarlet flame tiger seemed to have felt the gaze from the sky. Then it raised its head and roared. Feeling the scarlet flame tiger's provocation, Xie Feng frowned. Then she flapped her wings. Instantly, a huge fireball condensed under Xie Feng's wings. Woo! Feeling the threat from the sky, the scarlet flame tiger didn't show any signs of weakness. Then, a strange scene appeared. This scene stunned even Xie Feng. The scarlet flame tiger looked at Xie Feng's actions. Then, it spread its fiery red wings and a fireball that was exactly the same as the one that Xie Feng condensed appeared. How is this possible? How did you? Even so, she couldn't be careless in front of a powerful enemy. Although she knew that with her strength, she could crush the tiger on the ground, Xie Feng still didn't dare to be careless. Come, let this sovereign see if your fireball is more powerful or this sovereign's. Whoosh! Whoosh! Right at this moment. The 2 fireballs were launched at the same time. They were so fast that no one could catch a trace of them. Bang! A loud sound rang out. The moment the 2 fireballs collided with each other, it turned into a strong wave of air that instantly spread towards the surroundings. Bang! The wave of air instantly arrived. The moment the scarlet flame tiger on the ground felt the wave of air, it was instantly sent flying far away by the wave of air, until it smashed onto the barrier. Bang! The scarlet flame tiger was bombarded by the wave of air and hit the barrier. However, at this moment, the barrier was activated. A strong force instantly appeared and transmitted to the scarlet flame tiger. It was unknown if the scarlet flame tiger was unlucky or what. Once again, it was sent flying. Coincidentally, the scarlet flame tiger finally returned to the place where the battle started. However, the moment the wave of air arrived, Xueqi flapped her wings and the wave of air dissipated. Hee hee. Looking at the scarlet flame tiger that was bounced back and forth, Xueqi sneered, "Humph, a mere divine lord dares to make a move against me. Do you really think that I grew up eating rice? Oh woo, humph, so what? Emperor wants to see. How strong are you, and how strong is Emperor when he just broke through?" While speaking, the scarlet flame tiger stood up from the ground. Its fiery red wings flapped, and it stood side by side with Xueqi. Its eyes were filled with contempt for the world. It was almost as if it was a sunset with Lin Ray. Looking at the scarlet flame tiger, Xueqi laughed. "Really, what kind of master is busy with? What kind of mount is there?" With that, Xueqi flapped her wings, and in an instant, 2 fireballs appeared. With a huge murderous aura, they rushed towards the scarlet flame tiger. What? The moment the 2 fireballs appeared, the scarlet flame tiger felt the terrifying energy coming from the 2 fireballs. The scarlet flame tiger's eyes were red with anger. Bang, however, because the speed of the 2 fireballs was very fast, and Xueqi attacked in an instant, the scarlet flame tiger didn't even have time to react. Its body was hit by the fireballs. The scarlet flame tiger's body was sent flying again. This time, the fireballs were even stronger than before. At this moment, the scarlet flame tiger didn't even have the strength to stand up. And this time, the power that Xueqi used was too strong. It was beyond what a divine lord could bear. In addition, Xueqi's body was the authentic undying flame. Therefore, the scarlet flame tiger was burned by the undying flame and couldn't move. Chapter 584. Humph. Let's go. Follow me back to your master. Although the scarlet flaming tiger's behavior was bad, it was Lin Ray's mount after all. She couldn't be too harsh on it. As soon as he finished speaking, a terrifying force that made the flaming tiger tremble appeared and dragged it up from the ground. Looking at the scarlet flaming tiger, Xueqi didn't have another chance. She spread her wings and flew towards Lin Ray's location. The scarlet flaming tiger was extremely fast. As a demonic beast that had just become a god emperor, it felt that its dignity was being insulted. Awu, at this time Feng Su, who was beside Lin Ray, had finished eating the eggshell. The feathers on her body that looked like flames looked even more similar now. Moreover, the degree of similarity was close to 100%. Wow, I get feathers from killing a tiger? At this time, when Feng Su saw the tiger that Xueqi brought over, she looked at it curiously and couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. In comparison, Xueqi didn't say anything. Seeing that her son could sense it, she was naturally happy. Moreover, Feng Su had just gotten into trouble and she hadn't seen a tiger before, let alone a scarlet flaming tiger that had suddenly grown wings after absorbing the undying flames. Humph. I am a god emperor scarlet flaming tiger. Also, who is this little bird? Why is it beside my young master? Immediately, the scarlet flaming tiger, who wasn't far from Lin Ray, saw Feng Su beside Lin Ray and instantly became jealous. Humph. This is my mother. Who are you? Why, ha ha ha. At this time, a loud and happy laughter came out of the scarlet flaming tiger's mouth after hearing Feng Su's words. Ha ha ha, mother. When did young master change his gender? And finally, haha, I can't, let me laugh for a while. Feng Su didn't understand when she saw the scarlet flaming tiger's laughter, but the scarlet flaming tiger's laughter infected Feng Su. Then, the two's laughter spread throughout the underground world. Hee hee. Seeing her son Rui happy, the evil phoenix was very satisfied. What kind of mother would want her son to be unhappy? Sigh, you can call me whatever you want, as long as you're happy. Xueqi's words were filled with melancholy. Then she looked at Lin Ray, who was cultivating,
with a bitter expression. At this moment, Lin Rei still didn't know what was happening outside. If he knew, he would definitely beat the Crimson Flame Tiger up without any scruples. As for little Phoenix Feng Su, that would depend on whether Xuefeng was by her side or not. Otherwise, she would definitely be beaten up. Haha, come on, it's the last time. Whether or not we succeed depends on you. At this moment, Lin Rei was already at the final juncture of his cultivation. He looked at the barrier in front of him. Lin Rei instantly mobilized all the spirit qi in his body. At this moment, the primal chaos scripture was overloaded. Looking towards the source of the murderous intent, he saw Xuefeng looking at him with a murderous gaze. She looked like she wanted to kill him. Suddenly Lin Rei understood. The big bird that called for his mother was the huge egg he saw before. However, he didn't understand why the little phoenix would call him mother. Then Lin Rei, who couldn't figure it out, quickly stood up and thanked Xuefeng. Thank you. I'll remember your help today. In the future, if you have any difficulties, I'll definitely help you. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Xuefeng sneered. All right, don't try to worm your way into being friends with me. I've already said before that this is a deal. Hurry up and think of your 2 conditions. Once you've thought of them, I'll fulfill them. After that, we'll go our separate ways. Hearing Xuefeng's words, Lin Rei's expression became awkward. Then, he wanted to change the topic. However, at this moment, a tiger with a pair of wings similar to Xuefeng's appeared behind Xuefeng's back. Scarlet. Scarlet Flame Tiger? Looking at the tiger, Lin Rei probed with uncertainty. He wasn't sure if the tiger with the wings in front of him was the Scarlet Flame Tiger. "Awoo, young master. You're finally awake." As expected, a cheap voice suddenly sounded. Lin Rei immediately closed his eyes helplessly. However, regarding the Scarlet Flame Tiger's huge change, Lin Rei was still very surprised. He didn't expect the Scarlet Flame Tiger to have such a change. Moreover, Lin Rei also felt the aura emitted from the Scarlet Flame Tiger's body. Damn, this mother *K broke through faster than me. The system was right. The flames here are indeed very helpful to the Scarlet Flame Tiger. Not only did it break through to the Emperor God realm, it even gave it a pair of Xuefeng's wings. However, at this moment, the system was also a little surprised. It only told the Scarlet Flame Tiger to cultivate in the flames to increase its cultivation, but it didn't say that the undying flames would have such an effect. Master, I thought you didn't love me anymore. Just as Lin Rei was in a daze, the Scarlet Flame Tiger quickly came to Lin Rei's side and lay on the ground. Its tongue couldn't help but lick Lin Rei's ankle. However, because the Scarlet Flame Tiger was huge, one of its tongues directly wrapped around one of Lin Rei's legs. Damn. Feeling the Scarlet Flame Tiger's actions, he immediately looked down and saw that his pants were completely covered in the Scarlet Flame Tiger's saliva. It was extremely sticky and disgusting. I say, little tiger, can you not do this every time? I can't take it. After saying that, the Scarlet Flame Tiger hurriedly withdrew its tongue and lowered its head, not daring to look at Lin Rei. At this moment, Lin Rei felt that there was movement on his other leg. He immediately looked down and saw a fiery red bird sticking out its tongue and licking his other leg. Damn, you. Feeling this, Lin Rei, who was about to flip out, suddenly felt Xuefeng's murderous gaze. Immediately, the words that he wanted to say were forcefully swallowed by Lin Rei. It's fine, it's fine. The little bird is quite cute. Quite cute. After saying that, Lin Rei inadvertently retreated and hurriedly found a quiet place. Immediately, the illusory spirit blood fire appeared and began to evaporate the 2 pants that were already soaked in saliva. All right, let's go. This matter is already like this. There's nothing to be reluctant to leave here. After drying his pants, Lin Rei raised his head and said to Xuefeng, who was beside him, "Yes, it's time to leave." Hearing Lin Rei's words, Xuefeng nodded in agreement. Then, after sighing with emotion, she looked around and revealed a determined expression. "Yes, let's go. After we're done, we'll quickly go to the Holy Mountain. That way I can see my wife and child." After saying that, Lin Rei came to the Scarlet Flame Tiger's side and indicated for it to squat down. Then, Lin Rei flipped over and sat on its back.
Then, he indicated for the Scarlet Flame Tiger to rush towards the barrier above their heads.
Mommy, wait for me?
At this moment Lin Ray flew up on the Scarlet Flame Tiger, a tender voice sounded. After hearing this voice, Lin Ray's body paused and he almost fell off the Scarlet Flame Tiger. His expression was very helpless and his heart was filled with grievances. If it called him father, uncle, or brother, he wouldn't say anything. But what the hell was it calling him mommy? At this moment, Lin Ray really wanted to turn his head and explain to the little phoenix Xiefeng behind him that he wasn't her mother. However, from Xiefeng's gaze, it seemed like she didn't want him to know who her real mother was. Regarding this, Lin Ray could only do it. After all, he had a deal with Xiefeng now. The Scarlet Flame Tiger's speed was very fast. Soon, the Scarlet Flame Tiger brought them to the barrier. As for Xiefeng and the little phoenix, needless to say, the phoenix race's flying ability was one of the best in the world. Lin Ray didn't have the slightest doubt about this. After glancing at Xiefeng and her son behind him, Lin Ray turned his head and solemnly took out the last boundary-breaking formation. Without turning his head, he said in a serious tone, "In a moment, the formation will appear.
Hurry up and leave this place. Don't hesitate."
Okay, got it. At this critical moment, Xiefeng naturally had to listen to Lin Ray. Otherwise, if they wanted to leave this place, they would have to fight to the death. Okay. Looking at Xiefeng's reaction, Lin Ray inadvertently smiled. Then, the formation in his hand instantly hit the barrier. Boom! An enormous vortex instantly appeared. As soon as the formation appeared, Linley hurriedly roared angrily at the Holy Sun's evil phoenix. Quick, get out! With a swoosh, before Linley's voice had even faded, he sensed two figures charge into the formation and disappear.
Huh.
He so fast. After a deep pause, he recovered in an instant. Then, he drove the Scarlet Flame Tiger into the whirlpool. Boom. Gotcha! At this moment, the moment Lin Ray rushed into the formation, a shocking thunder and lightning instantly appeared in his mind. In addition to the thunder and lightning, there was also a voice. Humph, little doll, you are really good. You can actually release Xiefeng, who was sealed by this lord and the Dao ancestor back then. This lord really admires you.
Huh? Who is it?
As soon as this voice rang out, Linley stared vigilantly at his surroundings. Based on that voice, he felt a murderous intent that reached the heavens. This murderous intent was something he had never felt before. It was very strong and very cold. Humph, this lord is the lord of the heavenly court in the holy world, Heavenly Emperor Hao Tian. What? Heavenly Emperor Hao Tian of the heavenly court? Hearing the other party's self-introduction, Lin Ray was stunned for a moment. He was not unfamiliar with this name at all. Not only in this world, but also in the Aqua Blue planet before he started cultivating. He had heard of this name before. Humph, Xiefeng has already broken out. Since this matter is caused by you, if this lord does not punish you, this lord will not be able to erase the anger in his heart. You want to. Hearing Hao Tian's words, an ominous premonition rose up in his body at this moment. Humph, since this is the case, then use your eyes as the price for offending this lord's dignity.
What? No.
Hearing Hao Tian's words, Lin Ray was shocked. It should be known that the eyes were an important part of the body and also a part of one's strength. If the eyes were gone, then, gotcha. Just when Lin Ray was afraid of himself, a black lightning instantly appeared in his mind, accompanied by a stinging pain in his eyes that instantly spread to Lin Ray's whole body.
Chapter 585.
Ah! A blood-curdling scream came out of Lin Ray's mouth. Along with it, drops of purple blood flowed down from Lin Ray's eyes and fell into the vortex. Humph! This is the punishment I'm giving you. Remember, be smart in the future. Otherwise, I will make you disappear from this world completely. You have to believe that I have the strength to do so. Hao Tian's cold voice sounded in Linley's mind. The moment he finished speaking, the terrifying pressure disappeared. At the same time, the black thunderbolt in Linley's mind disappeared along with Hao Tian's voice. Lin Ray, who was eating, did not pay attention to Hao Tian's words. At this moment, he only felt a stinging pain in his eyes. It was as if he had been struck by lightning. The pain was unbearable. Little tiger, hurry. Hurry up and get out. The formation is about to disappear. Hurry up. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was in pain, felt that the formation was slowly shrinking. Suddenly, Lin Rei could not care about the pain in his eyes. He immediately clamped his legs on the red flame tiger. Suddenly, the red flame tiger felt Lin Rei's anxiety. At this moment, its speed increased by another level. Whoosh! Suddenly, the red flame tiger turned into a flame and rushed out. At this moment, the vortex was shrinking bit by bit. However, the time was still the same. The vortex was shrinking at twice the speed. Slowly, it looked as if the formation was about to disappear. The red flame tiger roared and its speed increased by another level. Just as the formation was about to disappear, the red flame tiger turned into a stream of light and rushed out of the formation. Phew! Fortunately, I rushed out. Otherwise, I would have really stayed in there. Feeling that he was already out of the formation, Lin Rei's nervousness completely disappeared. However, at this moment, the nervousness disappeared, accompanied by a stinging pain in his eyes. Hiss! The pain made Lin Rei suck in a breath of cold air. His face turned pale at this moment. My eyes. Chen Dan thought about how everything had been fine before. He mustered all his strength and tried to recall the pitch-black gaze in front of him. However, no matter how hard he tried, he could not do anything. Perhaps it was because he was too anxious that he used too much force, but at this moment, drops of purple blood appeared again, flowing from Lin Rei's eyes to his cheeks. Young master, where to now? At this moment, the scarlet flame tiger, who had already exited the formation, looked ahead in a daze. Its mind was blank. Then, he turned to Lin Rei and asked, Air, let's go to land first. Then, I'll find a place to rest and think about what to do next. I'll also let Xuefeng see if my eyes can be cured. Yes, young master. Hearing Lin Rei's order, the scarlet flame tiger instantly turned into a stream of light and rushed towards the ground. This energy was very mysterious. Even Xuefeng's scarlet energy was helpless. As for Xuefeng, she was even more shocked because she could feel the vastness of the mysterious energy. If that energy was a bottle that could hold water, then her energy was a drop of water in the bottle. There was nothing that could cause a ripple. How is this possible? This, feeling better about the vast energy, although Xuefeng was shocked, she knew that this was still good. Fortunately, she didn't force it. Otherwise, she would be dead now. How did you? Feeling Xuefeng's strange state, Lin Rei couldn't help but ask curiously. Just now, he felt that the spiritual energy wanted to enter his Dan palace. Although it was very dangerous and his life could be turned back to death by Xuefeng at any time, he still let her do it. But now, things seemed to have changed. Just a moment ago, he had seen fear and shock in the eyes of the Sage Realm Evil Phoenix. He had seen something that frightened her. Although it was only for a moment, Lin Rei believed that although he couldn't see with his eyes, he could still use his consciousness. It's nothing. It's just that I can't cure your illness. However, I believe that the person behind you will have a way. Ah, the person behind me? Who? Xuefeng's strange words made Lin Rei a little confused. He didn't know what Xuefeng meant. All right. I'll leave this matter to you. I'll take Feng Su down to accept the inheritance. As for you, if you want anything, you can find me at the Sacred Mountain. I'll be waiting for you here. After saying that, Xuefeng came to Feng Su's side. She waved her hand and a powerful energy appeared. It directly wrapped around Feng Su and walked to the empty space at the side. Damn, what's the meaning of this? Lin Rei's consciousness was probing Xuefeng's every move. He wanted to go forward and ask, but after seeing that they had already set up a barrier and went in to cultivate, Lin Rei gave up. Forget it. It's more important to go back and check on my injuries. After saying that, Lin Rei's legs clamped the scarlet flame tiger. Then, he ordered the scarlet flame tiger to quickly rush forward. At this moment, the scarlet flame tiger could be said to be half a city with each step. With Lin Rei's guidance, the scarlet flame tiger finally brought Lin Rei to the Yulai Inn. Upon arriving, Lin Li used his divine sense to scan the area.
He saw that the inn was still in perfect condition. In addition, Linley could sense that there was a familiar energy maintaining this place, preventing it from being corroded. 15. Needless to say, this was a 15th of the Azura race's strength. Previously, he had been fighting against the demonic phoenix and maintaining the city. In the end, because of the intensity of his strength, he had been absorbed into Linley's system. After such a long time, he should have recovered by now. Then with a thought, 15 instantly appeared in front of the Scarlet Flame Tiger. Awoo! Seeing 15's sudden appearance, the Scarlet Flame Tiger was startled. Then, it let out a vigilant roar. However, when it saw that it was 15, the Scarlet Flame Tiger withdrew its vigilance. After all, they had seen each other before. Subordinate 15 greets young 15, who was about to greet Lin Rei, suddenly raised his head. When he saw the purple blood on both sides of Lin Rei's cheeks, 15's gaze was fixed on his face. Young master, your eyes. Hearing 15's words, Chen Dan was helpless. Why was it that the first thing everyone said when they saw him was his eyes? However, Lin Rei knew that 15 was worried about him. Therefore, Lin Rei hurriedly gave him a reassuring smile. Let's talk about this later. Now, quickly find me a quiet room. I want to go into seclusion. Hearing this, 15 hurriedly nodded in agreement. Okay, young master, please follow me. With that, 15 walked forward. At this moment, the Scarlet Flame Tiger heard 15's words and immediately followed. Along the way, 15 chose to remain silent. Just like that, 15 led the Scarlet Flame Tiger that was carrying Lin Rei to a room and then stopped. Young master, this is the place. It's very quiet here and there's a very powerful barrier. Okay, alright, all of you can go and tidy up. I will leave at any time. With that said, without waiting for their reply, he instantly entered the room and sat on the bed. TSK. This barrier is really bad. Seems like I have to teach them about formations in the future. Otherwise, it would be so embarrassing to go out like this. Then, Lin Rei instantly cast a spell. He waved his hand above his head and a strong ray of light instantly rushed out of the room. The ray of light came to the roof and froze on the spot. Then, the ray of light began to spread in all directions until the entire room was enveloped in light. Sensing this, Linley finally relaxed. Haha. A smile on his face, Linley willed himself to enter the system. Not for any other reason, but to ask the system if there was any possibility of curing his eyes. Of course, he didn't have much hope. After all, he had checked his eyes before, so he didn't have much hope. System, come out. I have something to ask you. Half an hour passed. Lin Rei had been shouting for half an hour, but the system didn't respond at all. System, come out. I know you're here. Hurry up and come out. I have something to ask you. Lin Rei really didn't know what to do with the system. Although he was the owner of the system, he really didn't know what to do with the system and the little dragon. I know what you want to ask, but I can tell you that it's not completely impossible for you to regain your sight. This time, it wasn't like half an hour ago. This time, the moment Lin Rei shouted, the system's cold and synthetic voice instantly appeared. After hearing what it said, Lin Rei immediately became happy. Really? Tell me, what is it? Lin Rei, who was eating, was like a lonely boat on a river in the dark night. When he felt that there was no hope, suddenly, a light appeared in front of him. Suddenly, the lonely boat seemed to have found a bright ray of hope. At this moment, Lin Rei was just like the lonely boat. After hearing the system's words, he grasped a trace of hope. Haha, it's actually very simple. You just have to advance to Hongmeng. Only then will I treat your eyes. What? Hearing the system's words, Linley was stunned on the spot. Ascending to the Grand Mist Realm was no joke. Putting aside the fact that the path ahead was full of obstacles, just the existence of the Saint's world was enough for him to endure. There's only one way to advance to Hongmeng. Because your eyes were blinded by Hao Tian, and you used one of the 10 catastrophes from the Hongmeng era, the Grim Reaper's tribulation. So, if you want to regain your sight, you have to advance to Hongmeng. Is that really the only way? Hearing the system's solution, Lin Rei felt melancholy. He didn't know how long it would take to advance to Hongmeng.
Just advancing to the Holy Realm was already very difficult. Thinking of this, Lin Rei not only resented Hao Tian, but he also silently remembered the hatred of Lin Rei for hurting his eyes.
Humph. Hao Tian, wait for me. The Celestial Emperor of the Heavenly Court? Haha, when the time comes, even the Tao ancestor won't be able to save you. When the time comes, I'll let you know what despair is.
Thinking of this, Lin Rei had already decided that as long as he saved his wife and child, he would prepare to enter the Holy Realm. He had to advance to Hongmeng in the shortest time possible. Only then would his eyes recover.
Okay, I understand.
I will cultivate as soon as possible and strive to advance to Hongmeng as soon as possible.
Chapter 586. Okay.
The system replied indifferently, then disappeared, no longer paying any attention to Linley. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had decided to cultivate properly, exited the system and returned to his room. Lin Rei was not used to the darkness in front of him.
Sigh. This is...
When he thought about how his eyes had been blinded, Linley's heart was filled with anger, and his anger began to rise as well.
TSK, forget it. I'll just refine a pill that can temporarily relieve the pain. Otherwise, the pain will continue.
I'm afraid I'll die from the pain before I reach the Holy Mountain.
As Lin Rei spoke, the worldly Huayu was instantly brought out. Instantly, a medicinal fragrance wafted out.
Haha. Lin Rei smirked when he sensed the medicinal fragrance.
TSK, if this goes on, I might even be able to upgrade the worldly Huayu.
Although he couldn't see, his divine sense was like a pair of eyes, able to observe the outside world very carefully. Even if an ant was passing by, he would be able to sense it. In addition, right now, Linley felt as though his eyes had been blinded, but his heart had calmed down.
Haha. Maybe this is an opportunity that I don't know about? As Lin Rei spoke, he did not waste any more time.
He took out the ingredients for refining the pill from his ring, and sent them out with the illusory spirit blood fire.
Boom. As soon as the illusory spirit blood fire appeared, the temperature in the room rose sharply.
Everything in the room, whether it was wood or bedding, was turned into dust the moment the illusory spirit blood fire appeared.
Haha, sensing the changes in his surroundings, Lin Rei smiled. Then, his expression turned serious. This was the first time he had refined a pill after reaching the honorable level.
Therefore, this time, not only was it to relieve the pain in his eyes, but it was also a test of his honorable level. The heavenly spirit pill was an honorable level pill that could relieve the pain caused by being struck by lightning. It was also Lin Rei's first time refining this pill. Therefore, he did not completely refine it in one go. True Tai water, purple jade wooden fish heart, fire spirit fruit. At this moment, Lin Rei took out precious medicinal ingredients that were hard to find even in the god realm. Furthermore, looking at his relaxed expression, it was as if these things were worthless. However, when Lin Rei took out the ingredients for refining the heaven spirit pill, he was shocked and felt a faint heartache. It was just short of bleeding. One had to know that these medicinal ingredients were all painstakingly obtained by him. Even though he knew that the purpose of refining the pill was to treat his eye injury, it would still hurt. As the heaven and earth Huayu warmed up, Lin Rei picked up the fire spirit fruit and threw it into the heaven and earth Huayu to refine it. F***CK. Suddenly, the moment the fire spirit fruit came into contact with the illusory spirit blood fire, Linley let out a cry of surprise. Immediately after, he sensed that the fire spirit fruit that he had thrown into the worldly splendor was instantly incinerated by the illusory spirit blood fire. Looking at the crumbs of the spiritual medicine at the bottom of the heaven and earth Huayu, Lin Rei's heart suddenly throbbed in pain. F***CK, this has to be my medicine. A painful roar came out of Lin Rei's mouth. His face was already scrunched up. Sigh. He had no choice. In order to refine the pill and verify his honorable level, he had no choice but to look at the crumbs. Hardening his heart, Linley once more took out a fire spirit fruit. He used his consciousness to check the fire spirit fruit in his hand and said with a shocked expression, Fire spirit fruit, fire spirit fruit. Don't spoil it again. There was only so much to begin with. It wasn't easy to get this little bit. If it were to be used up in this matter, then, speaking of this, Lin Rei threw the fire spirit fruit into the heaven and earth Huayu unwillingly. Boom! Suddenly, another scream came out of Lin Rei's mouth. The moment he threw the fire spirit fruit into the heaven and earth Wayu, his consciousness followed the fire spirit fruit into the heaven and earth Wayu. The result was the same as before. The moment the fire spirit fruit came into contact with the illusory spirit blood fire, it was incinerated and turned into dregs. Lin Rei was puzzled by this. This situation had never happened before. However, it was happening frequently now. Furthermore, it was consuming his most precious spiritual medicine. How could he remain calm? No, I don't want to believe it. The flames must be too high. That's why the fire spirit fruit, which is also of the fire attribute, was incinerated. This time, I'll reduce the flames and see what the result is. Thinking of this, Lin Rei took out another fire spirit fruit reluctantly. This time, Lin Rei was very determined. This time, he would definitely succeed. Then, under Lin Rei's control, the illusory spirit blood fire decreased significantly. However, even so, the surrounding temperature was still the same as before. It did not decrease at all. Whoosh! The moment the power of the flames decreased, Lin Rei threw the fire spirit fruit into the heaven and earth Wayu. His consciousness followed along. He wanted to see if he would succeed this time. Damn it! In the end. What made him feel helpless was that the moment he saw the fire spirit fruit in the heaven and earth Wayu come into contact with the illusory spirit blood fire, it turned into dregs as usual. Seeing this, Lin Rei could not help but swear. His face turned gloomy. He had never experienced such a situation before. Since this had happened so many times, Lin Rei knew that if he continued to try like this, his fire spirit fruit would definitely be used up. At that time, there would be no more fire spirit fruit. Then, his eyes would have to continue to suffer. In this regard, Lin Rei gave up on continuing the trial. Instead, he listened and began to think about what went wrong. The room fell silent at this moment. However, when he was deep in thought, he did not withdraw the illusory spirit blood fire. Instead, it continued to stay in the heaven and earth Wayu. At this moment, in the center of Lake City, Xie Feng was lying in the array with her son, Feng Su. Feng Su, remember. I am your mother. As for that person, he is the one who saved us. He is your savior. If it wasn't for him, I'm afraid your mother would not have been able to see you on the day you were born. Oh, I know. At this moment, Feng Su, who was lying beside Xie Feng, heard her words and nodded. He nestled on the ground obediently. Looking at her son, Xie Feng was stunned for a moment. Then, her face turned gloomy and her tone became serious. As a descendant of the Phoenix clan, you must always remember. Back then, because Hong Jun started the great calamity of the Dragon Han in advance, we started a war with the Dragon clan and the Qilin clan. In the end, Hong Jun became a good person. It was also because of this that our Phoenix clan was trapped here. After hearing Xie Feng's story, Feng Su, who was already sleepy, immediately raised his head in surprise and listened seriously. Then what happened? Hearing Feng Su's question, Xie Feng was naturally willing to listen. Then, she began to narrate what happened back then. Back then the heaven and earth came out. Great God Pangu. Just like this, Xie Feng began to tell Feng Su. This went on for 2 months. In these 2 months, Xie Feng basically told Feng Su about her experience in the Great Desolation era and picked out some important things. Just like this. Back then, because of the great calamity of the Dragon Han, our Phoenix clan declined. As for the Phoenix clan, they were completely wiped out in that great battle. However, perhaps there are exceptions, just like us. Sigh. After talking about her spiritual energy, Xie Feng couldn't help but sigh in disappointment. Her face was filled with sorrow. Yes, mother. Don't worry. I will definitely avenge you. I definitely will. At this moment, after listening to Xie Feng's story, Feng Su was already certain that the Xie Feng in front of her was her mother. Hearing her son's words, Xie Feng's eyes couldn't help but tear up. At this moment, the last line of defense in her heart was completely broken. Good child, good child. Mother knows what you mean, but now is not the time. You are still weak. However, with that kid around, you don't have to worry. The person who I felt the primal chaos chi in his hand earlier was Linley, the one who saved us. With his primal chaos chi, your cultivation speed will increase by several times. Moreover, the strength you will gain from cultivating will be on another level, several times that of ordinary people.
Really?
Hearing this, Feng Su's eyes were filled with excitement. At this moment, she couldn't help but stand up.
Huh.
Hee, don't be anxious. It's not good for you to be so anxious. Furthermore, that brat isn't a good person. He can call himself true sovereign in front of me. There must be a power behind him that we don't know about. Furthermore, in his pill palace, there is a terrifying power that makes even me tremble. Therefore, we can't be anxious. Although Xueqi could sense her son's excitement and impatience, she wasn't confident about Lin Rui, especially after sensing the terrifying power in Lin Rui's body.
Oh, I understand.
Feng Su naturally listened to his mother's words. She immediately stood up and sat down again. Looking at her newborn son, Xueqi's expression became serious. She no longer had the doting expression from before. All right, I've said what I wanted to say. Now, Mother will impart the inheritance of the Phoenix clan to you.
Yes, I understand.
At this moment, Feng Su was very obedient. Whatever Xueqi said, he would do. He didn't know what the inheritance was.
Remember this.
From today onwards, you have inherited the inheritance of the Phoenix clan. You are the leader of the Phoenix clan. In the future, the Phoenix clan will depend on you to reproduce and strengthen. After saying this, Xueqi didn't wait for Feng Su's reply. Immediately, a fiery red light beam shot out from Xueqi's mouth and rushed towards Feng Su. With a swoosh, that fiery light entered Feng Su's mind before he could react. The Phoenix clan is the first batch of divine beings after the creation of the heavens and earth. The inheritance of the Phoenix clan is the wealth of the members of the Phoenix clan. This was a loud and clear voice. Every word carried the rhythm of the heavens and earth. Every sentence was like a lotus. As for the current situation, Xueqi naturally didn't know. Of course, even if she knew, she wouldn't stop it. Damn, so that's how it is. At this moment, in a guest room of the Yulai Inn, Lin Rui, who had been silently thinking about the problem of the fire spirit fruit for 2 months, finally had a flash of inspiration today. He suddenly figured it out. That's not my fault. So it's because the pill formula was wrong.
F***CK.
Thinking of this, Lin Rui couldn't help but curse. In these 2 months, the more he thought about it, the more he felt that something was wrong. It wasn't that he hadn't thought about the pill formula being wrong, but since his predecessors were able to refine it, he didn't pay much attention to this matter. Just now, he suddenly remembered that this pill formula was given to him by the little dragon. In an instant, he thought of the little dragon's usual tricks. Immediately, he used the spiritual herbs in the pill formula to arrange the medicinal ingredients. Finally, the heaven spirit pill that he had refined in his mind was successfully refined. At this moment, he was sure that it wasn't his fault. The pill formula itself was wrong. Thinking of this, Lin Rui couldn't help but have a love-hate relationship with the little dragon. You brat. You're still thinking of testing me after cultivating in seclusion. Speaking of this, Lin Rui couldn't help but worry about the little dragon. After such a long time, he didn't know how the little dragon was doing now. At this moment in the system, after seeing that Lin Rui had cracked the pill formula, the system couldn't help but laugh. Hee, silly brat. You're finally enlightened. 2 months. TSK, not bad. I thought you would take a few years. He knew about the mistakes in the pill formula. After all, the pill formula itself was a part of him. It came from him. At that time, the little dragon had tampered with it. Not only this pill formula, the little dragon had also tampered with the other pill formulas. At that time, the system didn't understand the little dragon's actions. At that time, the little dragon responded to the system with a serious expression. The host was able to improve so quickly because of us. If it's empty, then what's the difference between him and a useless person? Instead of letting him get it so easily, it's better for me to tamper with it a little and let him slowly think and evolve. Only in this way can the host be truly powerful. The system confirmed the little dragon's words at that time. Therefore, when Lin Rui took out the pill formula, the system already knew and paid attention to it. However, Lin Rui obviously didn't know about these things. But with his understanding of the little dragon, it was easy for him to guess the instigator behind this matter.
Sigh.
Little dragon, come back quickly. I miss you so much.
I don't have any aura to bicker with you. I'm so bored and lonely. He sighed helplessly. Then, according to the evolution of the heaven spirit pill in his mind, he didn't hesitate any longer. A fire spirit fruit appeared in his hand and he began to refine it according to the order and composition in his mind. This time, the refining of the fire spirit fruit went very smoothly. It didn't turn into dregs like before. Lin Rei smiled at this, but he didn't let his guard down. Instead, he became even more nervous. Chapter 587. As time passed, Lin Rei followed the steps of refining the heaven spirit pill in his mind, and threw the spirit herbs into the heaven and earth Huayu to refine them. Slowly, Lin Rei let out a long sigh of relief after all the spiritual herbs had been refined into spiritual liquid. However, he did not let his guard down because of this. The more he refined a pill, the more careful he had to be. Otherwise, he would fail at the last step and all his previous efforts would be wasted. Therefore, when refining pills, the first rule was to not panic, the second rule was to not rush, and the third and most crucial rule was to maintain one's mental strength above the pill furnace. Otherwise, if there was a mistake, the first two conditions would appear at the same time. Heh! Lin Rei chuckled as he looked at the dozen or so bottles filled with green elixir liquid. He wiped the sweat off his forehead. Then, he didn't stay any longer. His hand seals changed continuously. One after another, mysterious hand seals shot out unceasingly. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At this moment, the green liquid in the dozens of bottles involuntarily flew into the heaven and earth Huayu. Refine. Once the word refine was spoken, the 10 drops of jade liquid that flew into the heaven and earth magnificent universe began to fuse together. However, some of the jade liquid's attributes were not connected, and there were even signs of mutual rejection. However, at this moment, Lin Rei, who had been observing the signs of their fusion, did not have a trace of worry on his face. God Realm. Starting ground. Kacha. Originally, the sky was clear and the spirit chi was abundant. From time to time, birds would fly by and herds of beasts would walk around. However, on such a clear day, a large patch of dark clouds suddenly appeared at this moment. The area of the dark clouds was very large. It spread out for thousands of miles, and the sound of thunder resounded throughout the world. What's going on? Let's go and see what's going on. At this moment, the sects that were stationed at the starting ground of the divine world had a change in expression the moment this phenomenon appeared. They quickly sent people out to investigate the situation. Kacha! Kacha! At this moment, thunder rumbled within the dark clouds. It was as if the heavens and earth were enraged. It was very frightening. However, at this moment, in the area where the thunder rumbled, a long howl instantly spread between the heavens and the earth. Phew! Father, I've finally followed in your footsteps. I've finally arrived in your world. At this moment, the person standing under the lightning was none other than a stranger. It was none other than Lin Rei's son, Lin Yun, who had already reached the immortal venerable realm when Lin Rei left. Sect Master. Is this the God realm? The spiritual energy here is so abundant. Compared to the immortal plane, this place is too suitable for us to cultivate. An old man among the tens of thousands of people standing behind Lin Yun took a step forward and spoke to Lin Yun. Yes, that's right. This is a paradise for cultivators. However, we've only just arrived in the God world, so we don't know the situation yet. Tell them to be careful. Yes. When the old man heard Lin Yun's words, he immediately turned around and transmitted an order to everyone behind him. Who are you? Just as Lin Yun was curiously looking around, an interrogative voice echoed from not far away. Upon hearing the voice, Lin Yun immediately became vigilant. With their current strength, it was not easy for them to make enemies when they had just arrived in the God world. Moreover, they knew that their strength naturally couldn't be compared to the cultivators in the God world. Immediately after, Lin Yun's voice became slightly weaker as he spoke to the sky. Senior, I'm a god who ascended from the immortal plane. May I know where we are? Ascended from the immortal plane? At this moment, the person who spoke frowned when he heard Lin Yun's words. Logically speaking, ascending from the immortal plane to the God world should be prematurely foreshadowed. Moreover, it had only been a few hundred years since the last ascension. Regarding this,
The man was very puzzled.
Yes. Senior. We've ascended from the immortal plane. Please tell us where we are. This is the starting point of the God world. It's a place that all ascenders must pass through. Since you've ascended from the immortal plane, then come out. I'll arrange a place for you to stay. The person who spoke wasn't anyone else. If Lin Rei was here, he would definitely recognize him. This person was Xueqi, the person who had given him a free pass when he ascended to the God world. Xueqi was a disciple of the Divine Sect's Sect master. However, he wasn't willing to stay in the Divine Sect. Instead, he was free here. He didn't have to be restrained or worry about anything. All he had to do was wait here, cultivate and then bring the Ascenders to the Divine Realm back to the Divine Sect. He liked this kind of mission very much. Therefore, after the incident at the Death Canyon, he didn't return to the Divine Sect. Instead, he came directly to the starting point. At this moment, when he heard Lin Yun's words, Xueqi smiled. As the saying goes, the pavilion closest to the water enjoys the moonlight first. How could he give up on such a great opportunity? Although there were many disciples sent by the Divine Sect to investigate beside him, they all knew about Xueqi. Therefore, when Xueqi spoke, they didn't say anything. All right, thank you, fellow Taoist. Lin Yun didn't reject Xueqi's words. After all, they had just arrived and it was better not to go overboard. After all, this wasn't the immortal plane that they had once ruled. Here, any cultivator could crush them to death. Okay. Come on up. Hearing the other party agree, Xueqi was naturally happy. Who could cause the phenomenon of a lightning tribulation of 10,000 miles the moment they appeared? How could he not covet such a genius? Let's go. Lin Yun didn't know why Xueqi was talking outside, but after hearing his words, he didn't hesitate and directly led the tens of thousands of Xuanzong Sect disciples out of the lightning zone. Phew! In the lightning zone, Lin Yun spat out a mouthful of turbid air. His expression relaxed. However, under that relaxation he was more vigilant. After all, who knew what would happen in this unfamiliar world? When Xueqi, who had been waiting outside, saw Lin Yun, he was ready to go forward to welcome him. However, a second person appeared right after. When he saw the second person, who was dressed in black and gave him a very familiar feeling, Xueqi was stunned on the spot. And after the third person appeared, the third, the fourth, the fifth person followed closely behind. Just like that, when all the tens of thousands of Xuanzong Sect disciples appeared, the people who had been sent to investigate were all stunned on the spot. What the? Isn't this too many? They had seen tens of thousands of people who had been promoted, but when they saw that they were all wearing the same clothes, they were all stunned on the spot. This was obvious. Everyone knew that if they wore the same clothes, they were either disciples of aristocratic families or sections. However, there were tens of thousands of people in front of them at this moment. Therefore, they had already ruled out the disciples of aristocratic families, leaving only the disciples of sections. This made them even more shocked. According to this number, there should be people from a sect. With such strength, how could they not be shocked? How could they not be astonished? This was the first time in 10 million years that such a scene had appeared. However, the stunned Xueqi's eyes were filled with disbelief. There were a few times when he wanted to ask, but he felt that it would be impolite. Of course, Lin Yun naturally noticed Xueqi's strange behavior. He stepped forward with a smile and looked at Xueqi. What's wrong with you? Senior, I wonder if there is something on my face that you are looking at me like this? Hearing Lin Yun's question, Xueqi was momentarily at a loss for words and began to stammer. Seeing Xueqi like this, the people who had come with him couldn't help but smile. Hearing their laughter, Xueqi forced himself to calm down. Xueqi let out a cold snort and forced herself to calm down. Then she asked the question in her mind. Hee boy, it's like this. I'm very interested in the man behind you who is wearing black clothes and has a murderous look on his face. Moreover, he gives me a very familiar feeling, just like those people around my other friend. I can feel that they are the same kind of people. What you? You have seen cultivators like him? Where are they? At this moment, after hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Yun instantly lost his calm.
He valued this information very much because he knew that in this world, only his father, Lin Rei, could have such people. And the first thing they had to do after ascending to the God realm was to look for Lin Rei. Therefore, after hearing this, how could Lin Yun remain calm? When Gu Si saw that the person in front of him was so agitated, he immediately confirmed his previous thoughts. The person in front of him might know his good friend, Lin Rei. However, Gu Si didn't immediately say this information. After all, Lin Rei had gone a little overboard on the 5th level of the Death Canyon. He was afraid that if he said this, it would bring unnecessary trouble to the person in front of him. Although he still didn't know the relationship between the person in front of him and Lin Rei, he felt that their relationship was definitely not shallow. How about this? Follow me back to the Divine Sect first. There is a place for you to stay there. What do you think? Moreover, this is the starting ground. At the same time, it is also a forbidden area of the God realm. Here, even the lowest level of demonic beasts can kill you. Although you can call the wind and summon the rain in the immortal world, you are nothing here. After saying that, Gu Si didn't say anything else and walked away. Interesting. Looking at Gu Si, Lin Yun started to become interested in him. As for what he said just now, Lin Yun didn't feel that there was anything wrong with it. Instead, he felt that what he said was very correct. Of course, the main reason was because of the information about Lin Rei. Let's go. Saying to the old man beside him, Lin Yun immediately chased after Gu Si. At this moment, behind him, there was a group of tens of thousands of people following. This scene shocked many people. A group like this wasn't often seen in the God realm. Although their cultivation was only at the God realm, they were all from the same sect. Just based on this point, they had already surpassed some of the sects in the God realm. Hey, wait. At this moment, Lin Yun finally arrived near Gu Si. However, because he was anxious to know about Lin Rei, he lost his composure. Hurry up and tell me where you saw those people. Apart from them, who else have you seen? Tell me, can you not run away? At this moment, Gu Si, who was walking in front, had a smile on his face. He was aware of the shout behind him. Hey! Suddenly, a roar with the cultivation of a god was heard. Although he was only at the God realm, he was taught everything by Lin Rei. Therefore, his cultivation naturally wouldn't be too bad. His voice was so loud that everyone in the surroundings heard it. All right, I can tell you whatever you want to know. Chapter 588. Phew! This feels good. Because of the nourishment from the heavenly spiritual pill, the pain in his wound lessened significantly. Hence, Lin Rei didn't pay attention to his surroundings and moaned out loud. Of course, the pain in his wound was only temporarily alleviated. It wasn't completely healed. His eyes were still the same as before. He couldn't see anything. In the blink of an eye, more than an hour had passed. Under Lin Rei's guidance, the effects of the heavenly spiritual pill were finally exhausted. However, Lin Rei calculated that according to the effects of the heavenly spiritual pill, he would have to take it every once in a while. Otherwise, the pain would appear again. Sigh. TSK so troublesome. With that, Lin Rei casually removed the array around him. Then, he stood up and put away the worldly Huayu. He pushed the door open and walked out. Chirp chirp chirp, The moment he walked out of the room, the sound of birds chirping entered his ears. The sound was lively and crisp. It was very pleasant to the ears. Hearing it, Lin Rei, who was originally in a bad mood, calmed down instantly. Quietly Lin Rei, who felt the darkness in front of him, laughed foolishly. He didn't stay any longer. Then, he released his divine sense and walked towards Xiefeng. Previously, he had already decided that after resolving the pain in his eyes, he would let Xiefeng bring him to the Holy Mountain to activate the rebirth state. As for Xiefeng's strength, he naturally knew about it. Hence, Lin Rei wasn't afraid of the 3 ghost kings at all. Because of the existence of his divine sense, he could still sense the outside world very clearly. Of course, in this way, he had to keep releasing his divine sense and couldn't withdraw it. He walked towards the center of Lake City. Along the way, the streets were dilapidated. It wasn't as prosperous as it was when he first came. Regarding all this, Lin Rei could only sigh and feel pity. Of course, he didn't sympathize. The strong preyed on the weak, and the survival of the fittest was the rule of this world. Regarding this, Lin Rei didn't reject it. Oh! Just as Lin Li drew near the demonic phoenix, a phoenix cry rang out, its voice filled with a murderous aura as it raised its head to the heavens and howled. Lin Rei, who heard the cry of the phoenix, immediately stopped in his tracks. Then he transmitted his voice, "It's me, Lin Rei." Xie Feng frowned when she heard Lin Rei's voice transmission. However, she didn't stop him. She immediately withdrew her killing intent. Sensing the disappearance of the killing intent, Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief. He walked up to Xie Feng and said, "How is it? Let's go to the Saint Mountain now. I want to open the reincarnation mirror and find the whereabouts of my wife and child as soon as possible." "Leave now." Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, Xie Feng's frown deepened as she hesitated. "What? You have something to do?" Lin Rei, who had released his divine sense, noticed Xie Feng's hesitation. Regarding this, Lin Rei couldn't help but ask. After all, for a Xie Feng who had just been unsealed, Lin Rei really couldn't figure out what she could do. "No. It's just that Feng Su has just received the inheritance. I want to wait for him to completely receive the inheritance before leaving with you. What do you think? Of course you can object, but Feng Su's inheritance can't be broken." "What?" Upon hearing Xie Feng's words, Lin Rei was stunned. However, he quickly regained his senses and said with a relaxed expression, "Don't worry. I will handle this matter. I will send your son to a particularly safe place to receive the inheritance. That place will only be beneficial to him and won't bring him any harm." The evil phoenix was stunned when he heard this. His eyes were filled with confusion. Before he could come back to his senses, Lin Li took a step forward. With a thought, Feng Su, who was in the process of receiving the inheritance, was instantly sucked into the system. He believed that if there was a place in the world that was the safest, Lin Li could swear to everyone that it was the system. And that wasn't all. He had already placed Feng Su within the primal chaos formation, and had her absorb the primal chaos aura. You brat, where is my son? Hurry up and hand him over. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. Even if you saved me before, don't think about living." At that moment, when Xie Feng returned to her senses and realized that Feng Su had disappeared, she was instantly enraged. Her brain lost all ability to make judgments and threatened Lin Rei directly. Ugh! Looking at Xie Feng's reaction, Lin Rei smiled and didn't mind Xie Feng's actions. He knew the reason why Xie Feng did this. That was because she realized that her son was gone. Lin Rei understood this very well. After all, if it were him, perhaps he would be even more unreasonable than her. "Haha. Don't worry, your son is fine. He is now in a safe place where he will continue to grow stronger," Lin Rei said and couldn't help but glance at Xie Feng. Then he continued, "As for the outside world, he won't receive anything. After receiving the inheritance, his level will still be the same. However, it won't be the same in that place." At that moment, Lin Rei revealed the benefits of the system. At that moment, he told Xie Feng everything in one go. "Let me tell you, he will receive something that he can't in this world. Of course, it's not in the celestial realm, but he won't receive anything in the outside world. If you insist, I can let him out. As for going to the Holy Mountain, I can also wait. But when the time comes, your son..." Okay. Just as Lin Rei was about to say that he wanted to move Lin Rei out of the system, a voice appeared in Xie Feng's mind. That voice told her to believe in Lin Rei. Although it was a little ridiculous, she believed in him. Before Lin Li could finish speaking, she immediately spoke up to stop him. This time, it was the exact opposite of what she had done before. Previously, she wanted her son to appear, but now, she really wanted her son to continue staying in the mysterious place that Lin Li had spoken of. "Okay, I believe in you. I believe that you can make my son stronger. I believe that you can do it." As soon as she said this, Lin Rei's fluctuating emotions calmed down. "Haha, okay. Since you said that, it means that we can go to the Holy Mountain now, right?" Upon hearing this, Xie Feng was speechless. But Lin Rei was right. Since the matter of her son receiving the inheritance had been resolved, she could go to the holy mountain now.
Haha, here. This is for you.
Although the quality of the pill isn't good, I hope you won't reject it. Recalling that Xueqi was left with some internal injuries when breaking the enchanted field, Lin Rei took out the Heaven Spirit pill that he had just refined and handed it to Xueqi. Facing Lin Rei's action, Xueqi was taken aback, but she didn't reject it. Then, a stream of spiritual energy appeared and wrapped Lin Rei's pill. Then, the spiritual energy dragged the pill into Xueqi's mouth. The moment Xueqi ate Lin Rei's pill, her closed eyes suddenly opened and a glint flashed across her eyes. This is the pill that you refined? The demonic phoenix couldn't help but ask in astonishment as she sensed the powerful medicinal effects. She stared at Linley in astonishment. Not bad. What's wrong? In response to Xueqi's question, Lin Rei didn't have to hide the truth. Anyway, he didn't intend to hide his identity as a pill master. Haha, kid, I didn't expect you to be a god emperor cultivator at such a young age. What's more surprising is that you're such a powerful pill master. Seeing Xueqi's reaction, Lin Rei was taken aback. He didn't understand why Xueqi had changed so much. At that moment, just as Lin Rei was about to say something, Xueqi's voice sounded again. Kid, I have another request. I wonder if you can agree to it? Lin Rei was completely stunned by Xueqi's question. However, Lin Rei nodded his head and agreed to it. What is it?
Haha, okay.
Seeing Lin Rei agree, Xueqi immediately told him her thoughts. I want my son to follow you. Of course, I don't ask for much. I just want you to maintain my son's cultivation resources. Of course, if you want resources, I can naturally fight for my son. But after I complete the deal with you, I will be heading to the Holy World to find the Heavenly Emperor to settle the score. If I bring Feng Su with me, I'm afraid. Hearing this, Lin Rei nodded his head in understanding. Okay, I understand. However, how could Lin Rei give up such a good opportunity? After all, Feng Su was a true ancient divine beast. Moreover, she was born from the first batch of living beings in the world. Her talent was even more obvious. Okay, don't worry. If you really leave, I will definitely complete what you said today. As for pills, if your son wants to eat them, I can make him vomit. Xueqi had already expected Lin Rei to agree to her request. At the same time, she was very happy. However, Xueqi was a little disapproving of Lin Rei's words. Okay, since that's the case, let's go. I will help you complete the 3 deals as soon as possible. Then, I will leave this place. Okay. Looking at Xueqi, Lin Rei did not say anything and immediately jumped onto Xueqi's back. As for the Scarlet Flame Tiger, Lin Rei nodded to it. Without waiting for its reply, he immediately kept it back into the system. Let's go. Everything was ready. Xueqi spread her wings and instantly soared into the sky, disappearing into the horizon. The sacred mountain was in the center of the ghost world. There were 3 ghost kings guarding it, and the 3 ghost kings were the true guardians of the ghost world. As long as it was an order from the 3 ghost kings, everyone had to obey. Otherwise, those who disobeyed would definitely disappear from this world. As for the reincarnation mirror, it was even more mysterious. Everyone wanted to see it quickly. However, because the requirements to open the reincarnation mirror were too harsh, even the 3 ghost kings had not been able to open it. At the starting ground, in the Archaean Sect's camp, Xueqi was chatting happily with Lin Yun. Especially when she heard Lin Yun talk about the interesting things that happened to Lin Rei in the lower realm, she laughed even more excitedly. Ha ha ha, apart from their laughter, no other sound could be heard in the camp. Regarding this, apart from the Xuanzong sect, the other Archaean sect members felt very helpless. Okay, Senior Xueqi. Since we know about my father's situation, we should leave now. Looking at the time, Lin Yun stood up and bid farewell to Xueqi. Then he turned around and prepared to leave. But at this moment, Xueqi hurriedly stood up and stopped him. Lin Yun, can you go out like this? Wanting to establish a sect in the divine realm isn't a joke. You have to know that you're still too weak. Even the weakest sect in the divine realm can crush you. Are you sure you want to do this? He had already heard about Lin Yun wanting to establish a sect in the God realm. Therefore, when he saw that Lin Yun was about to leave, he couldn't help but speak out to dissuade him. "TSK, this matter. I know what I'm doing. Although I know that my Xuanzong sect is too weak right now, so weak that we can't even compare to the lowest level sect in the God realm, so what? The sect was established by my father. I can't watch all the disciples of the sect join other sections. If that happens, my father will definitely blame me." Achoo. At this moment, Lin Rui, who was riding on Xiefeng to the sacred mountain, suddenly sneezed. Then, he looked around in puzzlement and said to himself, "Who's thinking of me?" Of course, he would never have imagined that his son, Lin Yun, had already brought the Xuanzong sect he had founded back then to the God realm. SS. Why won't you listen to my advice? Do you know how powerful a divine armament cultivator is? Do you know how powerful a divine guard is? Do you know? At this moment, Xueqi was getting more and more agitated. So much so that he couldn't help but use his body language when speaking. Looking at Xueqi's appearance, Lin Yun's heart warmed. He knew that Xueqi was doing this to protect him and the disciples of the Xuanzong sect behind him. But if he didn't do this, would he really have to join the God sect? Just like this, when the two disagreed, the two fell into a stalemate. Time passed little by little. Lin Yun and Xueqi just stood there, ignoring each other. Just like that, the stalemate continued. Finally, at this moment, Xueqi let out a long sigh. As though he had made an important decision, he opened his mouth and broke the current stalemate. "How about this? If you want to establish a sect in the deity realm, I won't stop you. But to ensure your safety, I have to watch over you. I will temporarily join you until your father, Linley, returns. Only then will I leave." "Oh, really?" At this moment, after hearing Xueqi's thoughts, Lin Yun was stunned for a moment. He had never thought that Xueqi would be like this. "Yes, that's right. Although your father and I can't be considered as close friends, I admire his character very much. Therefore, I am willing to help you until your father returns." After receiving another confirmation, Lin Yun became excited. Although he didn't know Xueqi's current strength, he knew that he must be very powerful to be friends with his father. "All right, thank you, Senior Xueqi. Don't worry, I'll be very careful when it comes to establishing the sect. Furthermore, before the sect's strength increases, I won't let the sect appear in front of others." On the map, all the dangerous places, hidden places, and the heavenly chasm were clearly indicated. Even the major sects were marked on it. His gaze quickly focused on the map. All kinds of dangerous places, hidden places, and the heavenly chasm floated in front of Lin Yun's eyes. At this moment, a name appeared in front of him. His eyes, which were originally calm like an ancient well, suddenly flashed. Then, his gaze was fixed on that place. Xueqi also noticed Lin Yun's abnormality. She immediately looked at the map. However, when Xueqi saw the place Lin Yun was looking at, her expression changed and she quickly stopped him. "No, that place can't be. That place really can't be. It's too dangerous. With your current strength, it's not suitable for you to go there." "Oh, why?" Hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Yun asked curiously. He knew that the place he was looking at was a hidden place. However, when he saw that place for the first time, he was deeply attracted by the topography and the name of the place. At the same time, at that moment, he decided to establish his sect there. Looking at Lin Yun's fearless appearance, Xueqi really wanted to go up and give him a knock on the head. She rolled her eyes at him. Even so, Xueqi still told him about the situation there. Celestial Dragon Mountain is one of the most powerful places in the God realm. Let's not talk about you. Even if I were to enter, it would be impossible for me to escape unscathed. Oh. Hearing this, Lin Yun's face was full of surprise. However, he didn't give up on the idea of going to Celestial Dragon Mountain. Celestial Dragon Mountain. The reason why it's called Celestial Dragon Mountain is because someone once saw the Dragon Clan inside. The Dragon Clan is a godly existence. Even though we're divine realm experts now, when we meet the Dragon Clan,
We can only be torn apart. Haha, dragon race. Hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Yun became even more interested in that place. Especially when he heard that there might be the existence of the dragon race, he was even more determined to go there. Dragon race? Haha, so what if it's the dragon race? In the Xuanzong sect, there are two dragon race, a black dragon and a golden dragon. They were both obtained by Lin Rei, but when Lin Rei ascended to the god realm, he left them behind in the immortal world, accompanied by the cloud pagoda. Yes, that's right, the dragon race. Not only that, the demonic beasts there are also very powerful, so you should reconsider. Moreover, the god realm is so big, you might not necessarily fly to Celestial Dragon Mountain. There are many other places, such as the Thousand Treasures Mountain, the Universe Cave, Nikuin Cave or something like that. At this moment, Xueqi was thinking of ways to stop Lin Yun from establishing a sect in Celestial Dragon Mountain. Haha. Looking at his appearance, Lin Yun revealed a harmless expression. Xueqi didn't understand Lin Yun's sudden smile. If an ordinary person heard his words, they would have changed their direction. He would definitely change his path and go somewhere else. But Lin Yun didn't do what he thought he would do at this moment. A woo! A woo! Suddenly, two dragon roars resounded through the clouds. If Xueqi hadn't already set up a barrier, these dragon roars would have resounded through the universe and the 9 heavens. Dragon roars? This. Although he had never seen the dragon clan before, he was very clear about the dragon's roar. The moment he heard the dragon's roar. When he heard the dragon roars, Xueqi didn't even think about it. Her late-stage divine ancestor cultivation was released and she vigilantly looked around. Not only that, but the moment the dragon roar sounded, Xueqi rushed to Lin Yun's side and used her own cultivation to set up a barrier to envelop him. Haha. Looking at Xueqi's actions, Lin Yun's heart felt warm. He really wanted to poach such a person and make her a true disciple of the Xuanzong sect. At the same time, he was happy that his father, Lin Rei, could make such a friend. Be quiet. I don't know what's going on, but there are dragon roars here. If a dragon race really appears, you should leave first. Even if I have to drag it out, I have to ensure your safety. Hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Yun revealed a guilty expression. He could explain the dragon roars just now. Moreover, he was the instigator of this matter. Chapter 590. Senior, I'm sorry. You should withdraw your cultivation first. When Xueqi, who was vigilant of her surroundings, heard the voice behind her, she turned her head to look at Lin Yun with a doubtful expression. When Xueqi saw the apologetic expression on Lin Yun's face, he immediately felt that something was wrong. Senior, I'm really sorry. Actually, the dragon roar was made by me. What? It was you? Xueqi cried out in surprise. But he didn't dare to believe his words. At the same time, his eyes were filled with shock. Even though he didn't want to believe it, after seeing Lin Yun's apologetic expression, he slowly began to accept this fact. Yes, it was me. No, it wasn't me, but it has something to do with me. What are you talking about? If it was you, then it was you. If it wasn't you, then it wasn't you. What do you mean by it wasn't you? You've confused me. Lin Yun didn't explain further after hearing Xueqi's words. Then, he opened the cloud pagoda and let the dark dragon and the little golden dragon out. Roar, roar. 2 dragon roars resounded at this moment. Not only that, but the moment the cloud pagoda was released, a dazzling light instantly appeared in the room. As soon as the strong light appeared, Xueqi couldn't bear it and hurriedly closed her eyes. Only after the light disappeared did she slowly open her eyes. However, the moment she opened her eyes, there were 2 more people in the room. One was a teenager, and the other was a middle-aged man. Looking at the 2 of them, Xueqi fell silent. His eyes were filled with doubt. He didn't understand how the 2 of them came in. He remembered that he had already set up a barrier when he entered the room. Thinking of this, Xueqi hurriedly released his divine sense to investigate the barrier. It's not broken? Seeing this, Xueqi was even more bewildered. He then asked Lin Yun,
Lin Yun, these two are? This is Long Ao, and this is the little golden dragon. Lin Yun didn't hide anything from Gu Si. He pointed at the man and the child and introduced them to Gu Si. Long Ao? Little golden dragon? Hearing their names, Gu Si was even more puzzled. However, at this moment, a scene that Gu Si would never forget for the rest of her life appeared. At this moment, the two of them turned into two dragons, one black and the other golden. Because the house was small, the two of them only transformed into dragons that were about 2 meters tall. Plop! Lin Yun, who had been observing the changes of the black dragon and the little golden dragon, heard a strange sound and immediately looked down. He saw that Gu Si, who was originally standing straight, had fallen to the ground. Her eyes were filled with shock and her forehead was dripping with cold sweat. Humph, Xiao Yun, don't make me do this kind of thing in the future. It's like playing a monkey. Seeing Gu Si's current appearance, Long Ao glanced at her with disdain and instantly disappeared from the house. Brat, even your father didn't do this to us back then. Remember, this is the first and last time. If there's no danger in the future, don't look for us. At this moment, the little golden dragon was just like Long Ao and coldly reprimanded Lin Yun before entering the cloud tower. At this moment, Lin Yun, who was being reprimanded by the two dragons, revealed an awkward expression. They were right. When he was born, they were already by Lin Rei's side. Therefore, according to seniority, they were all elders. Senior, now you know what happened, right? Therefore, I must go to the Celestial Dragon Mountain. As for you, if you want to go, I welcome you. If you don't want to go, I hope you won't dissuade me. At this moment, Gu Si, who had fallen to the ground due to the sudden appearance of the two dragons, had no reason to stop him. Lin Yun had two dragons by his side. Even if he really met a dragon in the Celestial Dragon Mountain, it wouldn't be a big problem. Yes, I won't stop you. Previously, I didn't know that you had two such existences. Now that I know, I support you. If you really go, you will be able to encounter extraordinary opportunities. Hearing Gu Si's nod of agreement, Lin Yun's face revealed a smile. He agreed with this matter very much. When he first saw the Celestial Dragon Mountain, he had decided on that place. At this moment, Gu Si's face was flushed red. He sorted out his emotions in shame and immediately stood up from the ground. Let's go. Since that's the case, let's hurry up and leave. If we stay here, those sects will definitely find clues. Lin Yun had already planned to leave immediately after hearing Gu Si's words. Therefore, he wasn't surprised by his words. Okay, let's go. After the two finished discussing, Gu Si left a letter for the town head of the divine sect here and left with Lin Yun. The group came quickly and left quickly. When they arrived, they had left a deep impression on everyone. When they left, they were silent. However, the news of Lin Yun and the tens of thousands of disciples behind him had already been reported to their respective sects by the people guarding the starting ground. Oh, in the sky above the intersection of the eastern and central parts of the ghost realm, a xiefeng covered in undying flames was like a meteor as it streaked across the sky and disappeared in an instant. Sitting on her back was a person. That person had his eyes closed and looked like he was meditating. Hey, Lin Rei, how much longer do we need to reach the sacred mountain? We've been flying for so long. This person was none other than Lin Rei, who was piloting xiefeng to the sacred mountain. The second person was naturally xiefeng. I heard from passers-by that we should be arriving soon. We should be at the intersection of the eastern and central parts. If I'm not wrong, with your current speed, we should be able to reach in a month. What, there's still a month? At this moment, the evil phoenix's brows were tightly furrowed as it unwillingly exclaimed. Yes, that's right. Of course you can be even faster. I know that you haven't used your full strength along the way. If you use your full strength, I estimate that you'll be several times faster than now. 10 days, at most 10 days, you should be able to reach the sacred mountain. Hearing Lin Rei's words, xiefeng's furrowed brows relaxed and then revealed an embarrassed expression. You know that I haven't used my full strength? Xiefeng was very confident that Lin Rei wouldn't know that she hadn't used her full strength. But now, it seemed that she was too naive and conceited.
Of course, if the Phoenix clan is really so weak, then you wouldn't be the first batch of creatures after the opening of the sky. So, I knew from the first day you flew. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Xueqi became even more embarrassed. She didn't expect Lin Rei to know so much. Humph, that's enough. It's my fault these few days. I'll use my full strength from now on. Whoosh. While speaking, Lin Rei could feel that Xueqi was increasing her flying speed. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. The flying speed of the Phoenix clan isn't as little as what you said. During the prehistoric times, the Phoenix clan could fly tens of thousands of miles with a flap of their wings. After hearing Xueqi's words, Lin Rei was taken aback and didn't say a word. After increasing her flying speed, Xueqi's speed was indeed faster, and it wasn't just a little bit faster. The journey that was supposed to take 30 days was shortened to 10 days after Lin Rei exposed it. However, Lin Rei didn't expect that in order to prove the speed of the Phoenix clan, Xueqi would shorten the journey from 10 days to 5 days. During these 5 days, Lin Rei cultivated continuously. At this moment, he didn't dare to waste any time. Not only for himself, but also for the people he wanted to protect. However, during these 5 days, Xueqi kept pestering him, saying that she wanted to see her son. Without a choice, on the 3rd day, Lin Rei had no choice but to stop and move Xueqi out of the system so that Xueqi could see her son to her heart's content. On the other hand, Feng Su didn't disappoint him. In the training field in the system, she absorbed the chaos aura and her strength increased by several folds. Her cultivation base also improved immensely. Phoenixes were born with the strength of a grand unity true immortal. During this period of time, Feng Su continuously received the inheritance and baptism of the chaos aura in the system. At this moment, Feng Su's cultivation base had reached the early stage of the immortal Lord realm. When Lin Li saw the change in Feng Su's strength, he was shocked. Feng Su's cultivation speed was simply too fast, to the point that even he himself felt somewhat inferior. However, what Lin Rei didn't know was that he wasn't the only one who was shocked. Xueqi was even more shocked. Although she was confident in her son's talent, she didn't expect his cultivation base to improve so much in such a short period of time. At this moment, she felt that her decision to entrust Feng Su to Lin Rei was even more correct. After looking at Feng Su for a while, Lin Rei kept Feng Su back into the system. This time, Xueqi didn't stop him. In the following days, Xueqi flew even faster. Finally, on the 5th day, Lin Rei, who was piloting Xueqi, finally arrived at the sacred mountain that he had been dreaming of. Huff, huff, huff. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was standing at the foot of the sacred mountain, raised his head and looked at the peak of the sacred mountain. Suddenly, a chilly wind blew in his face, accompanied by the unpleasant smell of rotting corpses. Sensing the environment, Lin Rei began to doubt whether this was the sacred mountain. He even suspected that he had come to the wrong place. Haha, let's go. Since we're already here, how will we know if it's real if we don't go up and take a look? At this moment, just as Lin Rei was doubting the mountain in front of him, the system's cold voice suddenly sounded. You're right. If we don't go up and take a look, how will we know if it's real or fake? Thinking of this, Lin Rei's eyes became determined. He nodded to Xueqi and said, "Let's go. Let's go up and take a look." Right now, the demonic phoenix was extremely respectful towards Lin Li, for no other reason than that. She only wanted to help her son improve his strength. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.